Hello, hello. There. All right, just writing out my today command. This is the plan. Going to experiment with the treasure system. And there's kind of a meta plan here, and I want to talk about this a little bit more. But in general, this morning, I want to have it be productive. I want to take breaks. I want to kind of stay on track. But I think this afternoon, I kind of want to just get something done. And maybe it'll be the most important thing, but I'm not actually sure that that's what's best for me right now. So I wrote this. I think I'm in a mode where I need to clear out the clutter. Like I want to put time into Skeleseller, but I'm teetering on needing a vacation and having too much on my mind. I still haven't fully figured this stuff out, but I wrote this down. Maybe I just have very high expectations on myself. Like I've been trying to do weekly releases. I've been trying to make sure the game's getting more and more fun. And I'm not doing too many hours of work. I don't think it's a time input kind of thing. I think it's a like expectation setting thing. So I'm going to try to change my expectations a bit while still being productive. And I want to see how this goes today. So yeah, anyway, that's that. Yeah, I do want to take some breaks throughout today. It's been, what, 2 minutes since I started the stream. So it's not like I want to take one right now, but let's get back to this stuff. I do have a change here. What is this? It's just to give me free treasure chest. Yeah, I think this is where we left off. I need to get some of the perks working. Where is this stuff written down? Observations after trying this. Yeah, so this was yesterday. Let's move this down here. I consolidated two different lists. All right, move the weapon grinder so it's near the treasure room. If we do this and you have workers waiting with weapons at the shop, they'll have to walk all the way to the weapon grinder. So yeah, what I was thinking is we move the weapon grinder from here, but we keep the weapon grinder here, but we move this key storage up to here somehow. So maybe we should take a look at this in the world. And yeah, maybe it'll make sense. We also have a different weapon grinder graphic, right? If I search for weapon, yeah, this. The new graphic. Oh, that's weird. There should be a link to Discord somewhere. Huh. That's not good. I wonder if it's already in the graphics folder. Might be an unused. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, hey, also we have the Explorer's Hut. I wonder if we should do something with that graphic. Huh. Yeah, I don't know where this is. I know that we got it, so I gotta go find it. Let me go look for it. Game team. Extractor. Here we go. Yeah, I found it. I don't know why. I don't know why this isn't in that GitHub issue. Yeah. So it's not considered changing. It's just change it. Save and go change this. Graphics on Discord are here. And I'll show these because you obviously don't have access to this. All right, download to downloads. Oh, it already exists in my downloads folder. Huh. Okay. Hey, Avery, use Google Docs over OneDrive now? I have always used Google Docs, and I've always used OneDrive, and I also use Obsidian on top of all this. But yeah, I have a why Google Docs question because people usually do ask, like, why are you still using this stuff? I'm a little torn on whether I even want to change anything here. Like, I do use several programs, but they work. The process works. I haven't found any real shortcomings. The one thing I've started to do, which I'm not super happy with, is I've started to keep my to-do list in Google Docs. I think having it be a backlog is okay, but having actual, like, checking this stuff off, I think that would be better in Obsidian. And this was not meant to turn into like a 400-page document. And it ended up doing that because challenge mode ended up being much harder to make than I thought. But hi, Avery. Welcome in. Okay, so we have the new graphic. I will show you. I don't think I'm going to add this into the game yet, but the point is, where is this? Here. the point is it still has a pipe coming out of the side. So this should work totally fine. Hey, Sternblade. Corn style keyboard. Order to see if I like it. Nice, nice, nice. Do you mind linking what you ended up getting? I'm curious. Because there have been more and more people who have been talking about getting a Corn keyboard or who've already gotten them. I think it's interesting. We're going to have more and more people like that. All right, so we go over to here. We hit continue game. So I want to find a place to put the keys and a place to put the weapon grinder. So what I'm thinking is the weapon grinder can pretty much stay where it is. In fact, maybe it could move down to here. That way it's at least in your view, but you wouldn't know how many keys you have. And I think that's kind of the problem. If this is separated from where the keys are going. And also, I guess we need a place for the pipe to like come out. So let's take a picture of this. Why is this grayed out? What? Okay, that's got to be a bug. That has to be a bug. Okay, I'm gonna stop this. What is happening here? Because this has been breaking a couple of times, I think. My save file has more treasure than I can hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, but I only had two treasure slots when I loaded, right? Or did I click that button? Let me try this again. I need to figure out what's broken with this save file. Because this should be impossible. Yeah, so it happened again, right? Yeah. Yeah. So let's put a breakpoint on treasure room line 211. I just made a change here, didn't I? Yeah. So it's here. And then let's load again. It doesn't work. It's never going to work. We got to restart. Yeah, I wonder how this is happening. All right, so it'll break in now. Good. Now we should have 4 of these. Yeah, we do have 4 of these. And then it tries calling load. I guess we don't. Oh, maybe that's why. Add treasure chest displays if needed. What does this do? Number of displays is get how many more treasure chest displays you would have. So what is this number? 0. That's strange. How did this get to be 4? I think this is partially a problem. Like we get how many displays you have, which is probably 0. Well, I guess it's not 0 anymore. And then we get the number of displays you should have, which I guess, okay, maybe this is what's broken. No, this doesn't look broken. And the current display, and then we add them. Huh, yeah. Strange. Strange indeed. Huh. All right, well, this has happened enough times where I need to figure out why this is happening. Let's restart this again. I'm going to start a new game, and we're going to save when we have 2. Wait, no, did I? Oh, man, I don't know what I did. That's the problem. So if all I do is start a new game and hit grant most things and save, we should have no treasure in here. Yeah. Amazon link is too long? Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll take a look. No, I was looking up that Harry Potter quote just before the stream. Like my other tab's titled Hagrid. Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah. How much is this? 80 bucks? That's not bad. And it's got lights on it. Although the lights in this case don't shine through the keycaps. I always find it weird when keyboards do that. But it saves them money on the keycaps. And you can always get your own keycaps if you want. But yeah, neat. All right, right, so I build this, we just hit save, and I end up with 2 of these. If I were to load the game, it should work. Yeah, get rid of this, I don't care about this. And then save again. Does it somehow make more of them? No, it doesn't. I want to try it first. This seems like cheaper. Yeah, and you might like it a lot. I only just commented on the LED thing because I think the LEDs are actually useful for learning. I don't know if you've heard me talk about this before, but I don't really have working ones on my keyboard right now, except for on the left half where you can see these light up, but on the right half, they're not doing that anymore. But back when they were working, setting like backspace and delete to be red was a lot better for me to learn that, like, oh, that's where those keys are. And then I set some other keys like escape. This doesn't make as much sense. Like this is going to delete text, so making it red kind of makes sense. But I made escape white. I made I think I made the arrow keys green. The nice thing about arrow keys is depending on how you have them laid out. So I had them laid out like this, where it was up, left, down, right. So just like a normal arrow cluster. Then if you see a block that looks like this and it's all green, you're like, oh, those must be the arrow keys. So that was pretty nice. And seeing them shine right through my keycaps made it pretty easy for me. You can still do that. You just won't have it shining through the keycaps. All right, well, I guess let's add one of these then. Did I click it twice? Maybe that's what I did. I hit save and it only saved 4 of them. No, it saved 6 of them. I don't know what happened. All right, let's try a new one. Trying to get a habit of not looking at the keyboard. Oh yeah, I think that's a good habit to be in, but I think when you're trying out like a brand new keyboard style, like the Corn, that I think you should probably look at your keyboard a little bit more at first. You've probably been using a regular keyboard for long enough where it's not hard for you to kind of fill in the blanks if you don't look down at the keys. And you look to see where my hands fall back to rest. Yeah, I closed the tab already, but homing keys can be nice sometimes. You might have seen this on a traditional keyboard where they have a little nub or a different feel to them on the F and the J keys. Is there a picture of this? Anyway, you probably, yeah, they have a nub, yeah. Or they're just more convex or something. Yeah. All right, so we're going to get one of these. We're going to save. We're going to load. No matter what I do, this looks like it's working fine. So I don't know how we got into a case where I had 4 of these, but the treasure stands or whatever it was not saved. Chest displays. Yeah, here, 154. This is saved right here. Man, I don't get it. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's when you build the weapon grinder first. That shouldn't make any difference, right? Oh, maybe it does. Hey, Smalls. Thanks for the raid. How you doing? How's the stream? And how's your game coming along? Oh, wow. I don't know if that means you've gone crazy. Added a randomize button to my keybind options. What, for fun? Or like so people can mess with you or something? Because I can't see why you would want that. Huh. This is, yeah, I'm trying to figure out a bug. I ended up with too many of these things in my save file, but I can't figure out how it ended up happening. That is a very good question. Well, yeah, so a long time ago, I think it was for April Fool's Day or something, I made it so people could control different parts of my editor, like the background color or the font size, and it was a gigantic pain, but whatever, it's April 1st, so it was fun. But yeah, if you just, in the middle of October, made a randomized button, like, what was the motivation? Hey, what'd you just say to me? Thanks for the almost 2-year resub. I meant for my game. Oh, I thought this was related to typing out a wow, and that you were then like, oh, I randomized my keybind, so I don't know how to type anymore. I'm sorry. This is truly what I thought you meant by this stuff. Yeah. Oh no, that's just the thing I say. Gotcha. Okay. Yes. So I guess now that I have the context here, the randomize button to your keybind, I think also doesn't make sense. But maybe it's a funny little Easter egg for people. The only thing I'd say is make sure you don't break sort of accessibility things. So if people expect to still press escape to back out of a menu, don't let it randomize the jump button to escape or something. Yeah. But yeah, I hope things are going well. We're working on the treasure system in here. So this is the system where you buy treasure chests. They have a time to open, and then you get keys, and you can lower the time by putting keys in. And then when you get the treasure out of it, which we can just kind of cheat here, it's stuff that'll power up your adventurers. So you bring this over to the guild, and it'll increase your stats. And it just wasn't as much fun, I think, as it could have been. So we're trying to improve the fun. Escape is spared, everything else isn't. Press Alt and you run, F4 and you attack. You can never quit the game. Ever played a game called Magica? I have played Magica, but I don't really remember a whole lot of it. That's the one where you like make your own spells? Yeah, I think I played this game. I don't think I liked it. Yeah. Why are there mixed reviews now? Oh, because people can't get it running on newer versions of Windows. And well, back. Magica was super fun. Yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't for me for some reason. I think I played once maybe with a couple of friends. And I didn't really, yeah, I just didn't really like it. I'm very, very picky about games, I've realized. I've played a lot of games for like less than 30 minutes that I think a lot of people would really, really enjoy. And I just was like, well, not into it yet, so I'm not going to give it more of a shot. And the newest one that I tried was Hogwarts Legacy, and I played that for more than 30 minutes. I played that for probably about 2 hours. I'm just like, I think I'm going to uninstall this. I don't think this is fun. So I doubt I'll go back to that game. Now, well, I can't figure out why this is happening, but I guess I'll write this down. There seems to be a bug with story mode where a save file has 4 treasure slots without having the ability that upgrades the number of slots. I wonder if it's saving in the wrong mode. Like if I go into, maybe that's what's going on, but I don't know how that would happen. If I go into this mode and I get the treasure room, I need money for the treasure room, and then I save, it shouldn't touch this save file. I guess we wouldn't know unless I got other perks. Yeah, but it definitely shouldn't touch this save file. I need to find more treasure stands. This is always a little bit tedious because there's like a million different perks you can get. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, it will eventually happen. It's just, it's going to take forever. All right, I'll try a little bit longer. Can I find more treasure stands? We're gonna run out. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I get this. So now we have 4. Now I save. It does not modify this. And what happens if I force a win? It still shouldn't save over this? Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, well, let's ignore this for now. I guess I'll just save this thing. Is there anything I can learn from this? It's not really anything. It's just loading the game, and we don't have enough treasure displays. I don't think it's a race condition or anything. I think somehow I'm getting a save file into a broken state, and I don't know how. I don't know. Okay, well, this isn't what I wanted to work on anyway. What I wanted to work on was I wanted to see if we put the weapon grinder here, because could we just put a pipe over here for keys to pop out? But then we need space for the keys as well. Right now we allow you to hold 4 of these. I don't really think it matters too much how many of these you can hold. Like, is there a problem with you hold? Yeah, I guess there is a difference. If you can hold, let's say like 500 keys, then the weapon grinder wouldn't ever turn itself off. It would never kind of stop processing weapons. If you can only hold one key, then you wouldn't put enough weapons in. So we pretty much just need to figure out what's the sweet spot here. Hey, Pressel. So yeah, I'm thinking it's probably in the 4 to 6 range. So yeah, let's maybe try to make it work for 4. So I would need to put key storage up there. This is not going to be fun to do. Is it combined right now? Is key storage a separate thing? It is. Oh, well, then I guess it's not going to be too hard. We just need to figure out where we put it. I never like doing this stuff. And skeletons need to be able to walk there. So I'd like some slightly more aesthetic thing here. Like we have, if you get all the treasure stands, it looks like this. And then we need a place to put roughly 4 keys. We could put them up here, I guess. Yeah, maybe that's good. It's better than nothing, and we got to start with something. So let's just go do it, I guess. Treasure room. So I'm going to change the ground to be, this is going to look weird, but we're going to add a little section over here. Maybe round that a little bit. And then put the key storage on top of this. But that means that the treasure room would come with key storage? I don't think it'll be obvious if that's what happens. Also, we need like pipes and stuff. Hey, Kevin. You're first despite the stream starting 20 minutes ago. Shows how much a Pressel cares. Yeah, so we put the weapon grinder a little closer. The thing I would really like, and this is really minor, but if you turn this thing on, NPCs will drop in the weapons from below, but the entry point is above. I guess it doesn't look that bad. Oh, they're throwing it from over here because they can't reach it, but that was never supposed to be the case. Pressel, do you have this saved somewhere? Oh, man. All right, so it doesn't make sense to just get one of these things. So I guess let's go into town scene. We'll lower, where's the weapon grinder thing? This is just key storage. It's not even just key storage though. Oh man. All right, fine. Adam greeting. Adam G. Create treasure room, create key storage. So we make a key storage and then we create the weapon grinder. Okay, and we set the position of this here. So this is going to be totally different. I don't know where this goes. It says 550, comma, what? 20? Okay, so we got to try to put it up here somewhere. And it's going to be very, very hard to tell where it should go because I need to instantiate in the scene, I suppose. So we're just going to approximate it. We're going to say 50, negative 200. Very easily just recall it out of memory. Nice. And then the weapon grinder will make in a slightly different position. Where is it being made right now? Get the weapon. Oh, wow. Look at that. Get weapon grinder position. We had this exactly set up correctly. So where are you? Weapon grinder position. Right there. All right. I want to lower this down to there. Is it centered? I don't even know. Let's just try that. Good use of my limited brain capacity. You could be out there putting people on Mars, curing cancer. You're like, I think I'm going to remember a certain Wednesday saying. Hey, this actually turned out pretty well. The good approximation. This looks a little bit stupid. Like, it's just kind of chilling here. I wonder if we should put it at the, well, we need a pipe coming out of this that'll make it clear that it's going all the way over to here. All right, I should lay out the key storage a little bit differently. We should lay it out in a 2x2 block. But yeah, how do we make this not look as stupid? I guess we could put it right here. No, but that's where skeletons come to wait. Hey, Meridia. Well, let's see what it looks like when they bring items to it. Is it dumb looking? Oh, they won't bring items unless I do that. So now they should get a little bit closer. That looks pretty nice. And it's creating a key from here all the way up to there. We're going to need to go through a pipe or something, which I don't know how we're going to do that. But let's go change this. So these are arranged in mostly good positions. I want to move it to the left a bit and down a bit. So to the left by like 8 pixels and down by 4 or so. So to the left by about 8 pixels and then down by 4. So what does that mean? You increase that or decrease it? Yeah, you would decrease it. So -204. No, sorry. Increase it. So -196. All right, so that's key storage. Now the key storage itself needs to have a different position. Key storage for all of its displays. Number of columns for display, we say 2. And then we stop you from having another sign for it. Where do we set the maximum number of these? Get max level. Here it is. And what is it set to? 5? Yeah, let's set it to 4. All right, we're getting there. I didn't save, so I definitely should have done that. Or maybe I just didn't save with the weapon shop. I don't know. No, I have the weapon shop. Yeah, that's pretty nice. So what does it look like when a worker comes and takes a key? I want them to take it from here. They're about to go over there. Yeah. That's good. They seem to be respecting where the treasure chests are. All right, so let's make a bunch of keys. Oh, wait a second. Wait, is this working okay? Yeah, I think that was fine. Be permanently stuck in your brain if you take it even further. The completely random thing you won't remember because of the text saved in your brain. Yeah, thankfully, that's not really how it works. I think we have quite a lot in our memories that we just can't access easily. And probably toward the end of your life, it might be sort of similar to how it works, but you're like a healthy human being. I think you can remember quite a lot. All right, so we can probably make this. Oh, actually, I don't know. Yeah, we got to fix up a lot of little artifacting that we have here. It also kind of makes me wonder, should we just connect this a little bit more smoothly? But yeah. All right, now how does it feel to drop keys onto this thing? Let's go try that. So I'm going to put some keys over here. Actually, if I just open up all the chests, then they won't touch these. And we can do that and keep them busy. All right, so if I drop this up here, yeah, it works. It won't let you drop it on the treasure room, I guess. Also, what happens if we have a chest right there? No, it's going to put it back over here. Okay, so I do need to fix that drop zone then. It's a little too large. And it's just really hard to tell. I don't like this. I don't like having to figure this out. Only for a pretzel. Yeah, so the upper left part of this, I think we shift the whole thing a little bit up and left and then shrink it. So we take this and we move it up into the left and then we shrink it a bit. Whoops, that's not shrinking. Now let's take a look. How's that? Got deleted. It's down there now. It's going to be tedious. It shouldn't take that many tries though. And we just need it to look pretty good. Oh, actually that's pretty good. And it shouldn't intersect with the treasure things. It does right here. I don't think that's a huge problem, but we could just shrink it by another couple pixels if we wanted to. Yeah, sure. Let's shrink it by another couple pixels. There. Okay. All right. So we've moved the weapon grinder. We don't have pipes. I'll write that as work for later. Clean up the world map. Make pipes from the weapon grinder to the key storage. Probably don't have keys. Just float through the world and instead get created out of the pipe. Or don't have a pipe at all and have them fly over there. At that point, reversing the image of the weapon grinder may be nice. Or moving the armor shop and the weapon shop. Actually, that would be probably the best possible thing. Swapping the weapon shop and armor shop would look really good. Yeah, imagine that this is the weapon shop. So now we can put the weapon grinder over here and key storage is right there. So the keys just fly over to that. That'd be totally fine. But having it be over here and having them fly like up and to the left, it's a little bit distracting. Do you ever use AI while coding? Yeah, I do. I have a Copilot command. I mostly use it as just smart autocomplete. So you'll rarely see me type like a question into the chat and have it figure something out for me. It's usually just like, oh, hey, here's the rest of the line you were typing. Yeah, sure, let's use it. Okay, so let's turn this off. I think this is pretty much done. Yeah, I think this is done. Okay, so now we get to the perk stuff. And I think this is going to form the bulk of the work this morning. And I don't even think it's going to be that hard to do. I think the hardest thing to do is going to be figuring out what's the most fun. So there's always kind of a question here with like, how much do we code this properly? Or how properly do we code this if we don't know it'll be fun? So like, should I just kind of hack everything together and see if it feels good? I kind of meant prompting. Autocomplete's pretty useful too, but I get discouraged with how much I default to just prompting. I try to do it less and less. Yeah, I think it all depends on where you are in your programming career and also what you're trying to do. It's like I'm working pretty hard on Skeleseller, but let's say I had some side project where I'm like, I want to try this, but I don't want to spend a lot of time. I'd probably lean on AI more for it. And that way I could just like test out my idea quickly. But for Skeleseller, I think if I got in the habit of prompting it, that I would eventually probably, like you mentioned, lean on it too much and then maybe lose the feel for the code base, the ideas that I might have and how to implement them. Also, welcome in, Suspended. So I don't know how much we should do here. Let's at least check this part in, which is to move where, yeah, move weapon grinder and key storage. The weapon grinder is, I guess I should capitalize it if I, or just lowercase it all. Wait a second, does this work down there? Yeah, it does. Okay, the weapon grinder is still in the weapon shop, although it's slightly closer to the rocky. Whoa, I just changed. What? What? do I have a hotkey for that? What just happened? I must have a hotkey to change that scene, but I don't know why I would have made one. Hang on a second. I'm trying to find where this is. I don't know how I did that. Yeah. I don't know how I even did that. Anyway, let me catch up on chat that I missed. Try prompting for Zig. It could also be the model you're using. Maybe that would help. Any single depth. Do 0 LLM days to make sure I keep my skills sharp, especially because interviews don't always let you use them. You know, it's sort of funny. If 0 LLM days are just to keep your skills sharp, I wonder if it's going to be needed in the future. But I guess it all comes down to what you prioritize. Like if you're never going to be without an LLM, other than in interviews, let's say, then it probably makes sense to just keep getting better at using LLMs. Yeah. What kind of scene is that? That's my, I think my, what even is that? Is that my virtual camera scene? If I click this, what does it do? Oh, it puts me in a blue void. I think it was this scene? No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that is. Anyway, this should not be checked in. But everything else looks good. So weapon grinder still in the weapon shop, although it's slightly closer to the, yeah, I'll say, but the key storage is now in the treasure room. Also, I capped the number of storage slots at 4 to make it fit better. Yeah. Oh yeah, the reason we did this, the reason for this is so that workers don't have to travel as far to bring keys to the treasure chest. Yeah. Hey, Journey. Gotta go. I'm sure you'd never be able to guess where. I have a good workout, Pretzel. Yeah, have a good workout. Okay, so now we're on to perks. So this first one's going to be kind of annoying because it's already coded, but it's coded in a way that used to make sense and now doesn't make sense. The way this used to work is you would generate this with a certain interval. So early on, it might be something like 1 free chest every 2 minutes, let's say. And then mid-game, it might be like 1 free chest every 90 seconds. And end game, it might have said 1 free chest every 60 seconds. So the single perk itself will just automatically sort of upgrade itself. Now what we want is to go through a typical level route here. So like at level 1, it might be 120 seconds. And then at level 2, it might go down to 90. And then at level 3, it might be 60. So it's not just a single level. And it's not like this is hard to do. It's just a lot of changing stuff around. So I guess let's go do it. Hey, 715-209, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a little while. Treasure chest displays. Is this already localized and everything? Yeah, this is probably going to be what we're going to do here. So we're going to save this one as free treasure chest. Except for it probably shouldn't be called free treasure chest anymore. Maybe it should be like automatic treasure chest. I think free is fine for now. I'm doing well. I'm feeling pretty good. I felt actually somewhat overwhelmed lately by just the amount of stuff that's been going on with Skeleseller and how much has been on my mind. And I'm going to try to work on that. So today, I think this morning, we're going to spend time doing hopefully good work. But in the afternoon, I think we're just going to do work. Not good work. We're just going to do work. And maybe I'll hang out a little bit more and chat a little bit more. I'm not sure. I want to just kind of try some different things and see how I feel. I have a vacation planned for 2 weeks from now. My keyword's double typing, which is why I typed 22. I have a vacation plan for 2 weeks from now, and I usually feel the same way almost every time there's a vacation coming up, where I'm like, oh, I'll do more work than normal, knowing that I have a vacation, and then that leads to like early burnout, and then I need the vacation sooner, and it's just bad. So it's like, okay, let's just take it easy. I think the vacation will be pretty good. The vacation also kind of marks the end of October, because it's going to be October, let's say like 21st or something. But then I don't really get back until, well, not to streaming until I think it's like November 3rd. So the final work day in October is pretty much the, whatever, I don't know what the day is exactly, but the 21st, the 22nd or something. So that's, I kept putting a lot of pressure on myself. Like I want to have a lot of things done by that day. Well, I don't think I'm going to have as much as I'd originally wanted done. But yeah, vacation does sound good. Okay, so unlock perk free treasure chests. Is this actually a thing? All icon data. Unlocked perk free. It's not an unlocked perk anymore. But what are you gonna do? Okay, so let's delete this. Let's get that. What else do we have here? Treasure room is a required ID. Yeah, sure. That sounds good. All right, so this is all fine. We can delete all this. This needs the right ID. Then what? Then the interval in seconds is going to be here. Intervals in seconds. I think we're going to start it with those numbers that I said. 120, 90, 60. Like maybe we end up changing that. Also, all this is going to be red for quite some time. I will eventually fix all of this. So this is going to go there. Get interval in seconds. Done. All right, so now we copy this over. We don't call it free treasure chest though. We call it automatic treasure chest. No, maybe free treasure chest is actually fine. Get a free treasure chest every interval. Cool. Every so often, the frequency is based on how many town perks you've chosen so far. That's not even true. And then we need a header for this. I guess this should say every so often. And then we say something like private const string header. What do I say? Header. I use this everywhere else. Header name. Yeah, there we go. Header name. Header name is going to be frequency. And then we get header name. We get the description. We get the display name. We make this partial. It already is. And then we plug in the interval, but in seconds. How do we do that? I don't exactly know. Dot select. It's, oh, nice. It actually kind of did this for me. This is kind of what I want. All this needs to be to list, which if it's going to be to list would just be dot. No, wait. I'm not totally sure. But then this needs to be deleted. And game constants needs free treasure chest to go away from that. And then town generator needs free treasure chest in here. Did I delete something accidentally? Huh. Ability ID dot free treasure chest. All right, now what are the problems with this? Only a single partial type may have a, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem anymore. Oh yeah, this should be called free treasure chest. All right, so now this is the only issue. And what's the problem here? Too lost. We must have another skill in the game that has a frequency. I just got to find that. I think maybe Blessing of Haste. What's going on here? Oh yeah, this won't be a thing anymore. We pass in the level instead. All right, you know what? I'm going to just delete this for now. We're going to have to come back to that. This hasn't been super annoying so far, so I think everything's okay. All right, what am I going to go look at now? I'm going to look at all the different adventurers and see if we've ever done this before. Aha, there. Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. Oh, we just put an S at the side. Wait, what? Really? Oh, yeah, because there's a formatter. Oh, good. I'm glad. All right, that's easy. So now we can just delete this. Wow, so much better. Okay, so now we can delete that and that. All right, now we can go get this functioning again. So this tried to fetch this thing. This is only going to exist in challenge mode though. So it's not whether or not you've unlocked this. It's just, are you in challenge mode? If town.gameplay mode.is challenge mode, then get the level of this ability. How do I do this in everything? Oh, yeah, like that. Okay, fine. Free treasure chest. And that should do it. Now, this is a little bit difficult because I set the times to 120 seconds and then 90 and then 60, which is too long to wait around for. So let's set it to 20, 10, and 1. This is just for the sake of testing. So I'm going to go start a new challenge mode run, and we should get a chest in 20 seconds. Let's go try it. There might be a problem with this because I think I'm also granting a bunch of free treasure chests somehow. Anyway, let's build the treasure room. So there it is. And now let's see, when do we get our first chest? It might be immediate, yeah. So now the next one shouldn't happen until the 30-second mark, I think. So I'm going to speed this up. We should see it about 30 seconds. We get another chest. 28, 6, 27, 28, 29. Yeah, perfect. Okay, good. And then we'll get the next one at like, what, 46 seconds? Yeah, 48. Okay, perfect. So that's working. So now we need to unlock the next level of this. I need to wait for the next chest to spawn. There we go. Now we need to unlock the next level of this. Come on. Where is it? There it is. All right, so now it's every 10 seconds. So I'm going to open these, and we're going to see how much passes in between this. So there's the first one at 142. So the next one should be at 152. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and then we're going to get the next level, which is going to send us down to 1 second. So now we're going to get them immediately, pretty much. Yep. Cool. All right, that is pretty nice. Yeah. Free treasure chest. So let's set this back to what it was. As mentioned, I don't know what these numbers should be. I don't know what's going to be too powerful or not powerful enough. A treasure chest every 2 minutes. Remember, this is just what you get for free. And I guess when I was testing this, I had one every 60 seconds. So it was like I had it fully upgraded already. I guess. Maybe we should start this at 90 and have it get down to 45, something like that. But I think the more pressing issue is going to be the treasure chests need to do more for you. Like, they only have 3 items in them by default. And if you're getting 3 items every 90 seconds, you're not going to feel any real impact. I mean, we could just increase the number of items inside, but then that's transportation time you need to apply. What are the other perks we have written down? Are they going to address this at all? Chests have more loot in them. Yeah, there could be a perk for that. Chests auto spawn sooner. This is already handled. Chance to spawn multiple chests at once. Chance for loot to be sent to the guild. Rare keys can spawn, which further decrease the time on the chest. It still exists. More treasure stands. Hey, Codex. Depends on how many guild supplies you need for each adventure stacking. Yeah, the like impact of this system is a combination of the following variables. How often do you get chests? How often do you open the chest? How much loot is in the chest? And how much loot does it take to level up? And then how many stat points does a level up give? Should be a perk to lower required number of guild supplies for adventurers. Yeah, so we can modify any one of these things, and I think it would improve improve or decrease the amount of power you get from this stuff. So how often you get chests and how often you open the chest, I think, and even this one, all three of these are going to impact your worker actions. Like, let's say you got 1,000 items from a chest. Your worker's never going to do anything else again other than just move loot around. So that'd be bad. So I think we do probably need to make the loot more impactful, either by having it be, it takes fewer or it gives more stat points. Or there's another idea I had. There could be an all guild supply. Like right now we have a rogue cloak, and that obviously just affects the rogue. And then we have like the mage wand, and that just affects the mage. What if we had I guess we could do this in a couple different ways. We could say like the DPS sword, and it's like rogue plus mage plus archer. Or we have the all orb, and it's just everyone. And that would help too. And I do kind of like that idea. This could be rare. I like the idea. Could be a rare chance to find an all orb that counts as a guild supply for everyone. Where are the graphics? Here they are. There are a couple of routes we could take if we just wanted a graphic for this. It could just be some like gem or orb or something like that. It could be this scroll sort of thing. Yeah, because I think if it's any of the gear stuff, it's not going to make sense for every adventurer. It could be a crown. Find a route to farm all orbs. Sounds like a good broken state to obtain. Yeah, that's actually a good point. But also I think it's exciting. So I think even if there were no way to farm them, it still sounds like a cool thing we could eventually do. Now that said, we need to balance what happens when you don't have this. So let's say you're not getting these all orbs. So we still need there to be enough loot coming out of this thing. Maybe chests could start with one of these in them. Yeah. Or a key could convert an item into an all, into one of these orbs, but not modify the time at all. Actually, I really like that idea. We put in another kind of key. The key itself is rare. You can only put it into a chest that has an item in it. And it's not going to lower the time, but it'll convert that item into one of these orbs. What does that mean? No, that could be bad. Because then you may end up with chests that can't take one of these keys. And then you have no way of producing more keys without moving them to the warehouse. Maybe it adds an all orb. I'm not sure about that. What was I going to say? So yeah, but going back to this. So I like this idea, but I think we still need the treasure system to have an impact in the early game before you've obtained this. So maybe they just produce more loot. I kind of like the idea of them removing some of the loot then. Yeah. It could be that they produce more loot and you eventually upgrade the loot to impact all of your adventurers. So instead of 3 items per chest, it would go to like 4 or 5 items per chest. It's probably still not enough, especially if you're not getting them as frequently as I was getting them. And if we have it, no, I don't think increasing the loot is a good idea. Since it'll spin up your workers too much, we should just require less loot or make the levels more impactful. All right, how does the level up thing work? Stat computations, reflect guild supply, reflect, what did I call it? Stat bonuses? Yeah, there it is. Life from guild supplies. Where's that set? Here it is. Power bonus and life bonus. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah. Okay, so we can just change these numbers. But I wonder what would be good numbers for this. Because I actually think it was pretty well balanced up until now. Like maybe we make it so that every level always gives you the same amount. It's always +5. No, that's probably too much. Maybe every level in challenge mode gives you +3 power and +15 life. Yeah, that could potentially work. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like that idea. It was a little on the weak side. Yeah, yeah. All right. So remember, none of this is going to matter. Like we can write whatever we want on paper, but unless we test it, it's not going to make any difference. So I'm going to say change the stat bonuses, at least in bone mode. I think you should get more power and health from the first couple of levels, and then probably the same general amount from later levels. So again, the way we have this written right now, for those who this hasn't clicked yet, you turn in 1 item and you get +1 power. Then you turn in 2 items and you get +2 power on top of the +1 that you had. So 3 items is 3 and so on and so forth. And then every number after that is always going to take another 5 items. So this level just keeps repeating itself. And the issue is when you turn in your first 6 items, you're getting 6 power. It's probably not impactful enough. So what I'm thinking of doing is we change these numbers so that instead of +1, maybe this is +3, maybe this is +3, and maybe this ramps up to +4 or something. I'm not sure. So this would give you an extra, what, 2 + 1 + 1, so 4 more power. Well, it's something. So we'd have to figure out what that balance actually should be. But let's work on the perks first. So we've got free treasure chests now. It's now no longer an unlock, which means if we go to the title screen and click this, it should only show 13. Yeah. Hey, Sweatpants. How much are you using AI on this project? I was just mentioning this earlier. I use it as smart autocomplete. So as an example, if let's say I wanted to format this, I might type .select. It might say something here. This code this is not meaningful at all, but like it might have auto-completed this line and I might feel like, yeah, that's what I would have written anyway. But that's about it. I don't tend to use any agentic workflows or ask it to do big refactorings or anything or solve issues. Pretty much just autocomplete. All right, so this is done. This is done. Let's go check this in. Out of curiosity, why do you ask? I've seen a rise in this kind of question. Today it's been twice, but in the last like week or two, there have been more people. And I'm just curious what the intent is. I don't think there's a bad intent necessarily, even if it's like, hey, I don't want to support a game that uses AI. That's totally fine. I'm just curious what that motivation is. All right, so I don't want any of this stuff checked in. Why hasn't this changed colors? Where are my beautiful colors? I wonder if VS Code just broke. All right, but this is all looking pretty good. Okay, so let's take a look. Restart this. I'm nearly positive this is all written correctly because it hasn't been identified as a diff. Yeah, as a tool, and I'm wondering what people use it for. Yeah, I think you'll find that across the board, people are using it for probably like every possible thing, whether it's just ideation or whether it's prototyping or whether it's actually like writing, hopefully production ready code or writing tests or just, like I said, doing some sort of autocomplete thing and probably many other things I don't even know how to list here. But AI is used by tons and tons of people. Like even just ChatGPT numbers are bonkers, right? It's like 700 million users or something like that. Like that's a crazy amount of people. All right, so we are going to have to test this stuff out. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. Okay, so make free treasure chests into a regular perk. It used to be a generated perk, but I want level 0 to still grant you treasure chests in bone mode. So now it's a regular perk that can be leveled up. All right, so we're done with that. Change stat bonuses. We'll do that when we get to balancing. I'm going to ignore that for now. Where is balancing? Here it is. All right, next up is change special keys, perks, tooltip, and values. Special, it's not even called special keys, is it? It's called key rarity. And what does it say? The weapon grinder will produce special keys more frequently. Special keys are all keys other than iron key name. They can change a loot in chest or open chest immediately. I think we need to answer this all orb thing before we do that. In fact, I should move all of this stuff. Let's shrink that down. That's taking up way too much space. Yeah, I want to move all of these now down to here. Okay, so this is already done. This is what I want to work on next. And I don't know how I want to do this yet. See a world where streaming programmers lean more on AI for the entertainment value. Gonna make for some strange, influential side effects. Yeah, there was a Kurzgesagt video that was just produced yesterday that said something like AI slop is ruining our channel or something like that. And I think they have some good points. They said that you may know not to trust an AI, but someone else will produce an article or video using AI that isn't totally fine. And now that article or video is input for everyone else in the future. So it's this cycle of, well, we start from a state where, yeah, some humans are producing bad stuff, but they're not probably trying to intentionally produce bad stuff. But then they use AI and they produce bad stuff. And then other people reference that, and other people reference the references of those things. And eventually you can't figure out what's fact or fiction. And then the other thing, and apparently some of the people in the comments were talking about this stuff. If you use AI to make a YouTube video, you can pump out content way faster than someone manually making them. And I saw this happen. I looked up a video the other day, or I shouldn't say a video. I did a search for a type of video, and it was essentially court cases. And I found a video that was kind of peculiar. It showed footage of cases, and then in between there was an AI voice giving commentary. It was done incredibly poorly, though. So imagine if I show you a shot of, like, I don't know, a house. And then the AI voice says, as you can see from the burning fires, this house had very little time left. And it's like, there are no fires there yet. It's just a shot of a house. And then it cuts to actual footage of now the house is on fire. And it's like, what? Like, shouldn't you just like change when you put the commentary for the burning house shot? So it was just really bad. And a lot of the comments in the YouTube video were saying like, hey, this is done really poorly. And the creator didn't care. He was like clicking the heart on the comments, just indicating that like he's reading them. But he's just pumping out video after video. Hey, Mars. Anyway, so that was kind of some of their points that they have. And I think there's another point here too, which is the sometimes non-transformative work of AI. So let's say you make a video with a very distinctive style, and now like AI copies that style. Or not even a video, a book, a video, a game. Then AI copies that style, and then people start like copying the AI. This already sort of happens anyway. The humans already do copy people. So yeah, I think a lot of this comes down to it's just a scale issue now. Like for a human to copy your book would have taken them a long time, so that at least you don't have a million people copying your book. But if an AI can do it trivially easily, you might have a million people copying your book. Anyway, I said I was going to take breaks, and there's an ad break running, so now's a pretty good time to take a break. So is it jump time? It's jump time. So Mars, you can just type J and then a number, like J5. And now I'm on your podium. Or yeah, J50 and jump farther to the right. Yeehaw. Hi, Becca. All right, close the game. So let's get back to work. So this thing about all orbs, I want to talk about this because I think this is oh, did I delete the buffer? Okay, well that's too bad. I don't know why I did, but yeah, I like the idea of this. So let me think of how we could do this. We could have, let's say we were to use these orbs. We could have a couple different things happen. We could say something like different orbs affect different numbers of adventurers. So you say like blue is 2 adventurers. What are the colors we have? Not that we can't make more colors, but blue, green, red, purple, yellow. Green, we could say is 3, red, purple, yellow. So we could say, I don't know, something like red should probably be all. And this could just be 5 and 8 or something like that. So we could do something like this. And the nice thing here is that one item is conferring many benefits so that you have to transport less. Hey, Goose. This go covered up my jump, but I was saying when an idle game comes out. Oh, yeah, I did see that. Yeah, and that is, by the way, what happens whether or not it's humans or AI involved. Like, humans have been doing this for probably ever. Where it's like, hey, someone else is successful doing something. I will go do that thing. And yeah, you definitely do see it in games a lot. I think once Dota proved successful, once Minecraft was successful, once all the Vampire Survivors clones came out, what other like major shifts were there? There's like a Fall Guys and a Battle Royale thing going on for a while. You see these trends and you see lots of entries in those genres pop up. And some do well, some don't do well. I guess farming games was a big thing for a while, survival games. Yeah, anyway, the list goes on. Yeah, pretty much any game that's successful probably was part of a large chain of that kind of game being successful. So this is something we can do here, and I like the idea, but I think it's probably losing the identity a little bit. This loses a bit of identity if all you're getting are orbs for this stuff and not the specific adventurer's items. There's another thing we could do, which I'm not a big fan of. But we could have 2 items per adventurer. Could have 2 different items per adventurer. The first is +1 to the guild supply level. The second is plus like 3 to the guild supply level. We could just also let these items stack. Yeah, we could just let the items stack. Healer, tank, support, DPS, all types, or does it lead to favorite types of orbs, which may be bad? Yeah. Yeah, I will say this. I love the idea of an all item. It basically counts as 10 items at once. So having it be a little bit rare makes sense, but I like the idea. I think it's great. But yeah, I wonder how far we take this idea and kind of, in my mind, I guess let's look at this in terms of like what problems are we solving? And I think the main problem is that there's a ton of transportation time or clicking involved if we simply give more items. So we probably need to cut down on how many trips it takes. And then the other problem is we need the treasure you get to be more impactful. So I think the 2 solutions, maybe let's just start with this. 2 solutions for now. Grant these orbs rarely that affect every adventurer. And then make the stat gains better from leveling up. And if we were to just do this, I think this would be fine. I think it would work. I think it'd solve our problems. And I just want to think for a little bit longer. Do we want to use maybe different orbs here or something? How do we want the orbs to work? How do we give them to you? And I think it'd be a mistake to give a lot of different kinds of orbs, because then you're not going to know at a glance what these things do. But if you just have to memorize, well, yeah, so I think that answered my question. And I should probably write this in the scratch section somewhere, so I've got this all captured. So let's go do that. Put this here. I'll just copy paste all this nonsense into here and maybe some of it'll make sense. Okay, so and I'll write here, I don't like the idea of having many different kinds of orbs. I think it would be confusing. What does it show inside of a chest right now? It says Golem's Enchanted Rock Shard. So we'd have some picture here, maybe the orb, but then we need some description that lets you know it's for everybody. I don't know what we call it. Maybe we make it something that the guildmaster wants and we don't theme it as something like magical. What would the guildmaster want? Would they want a specific item? Like a mace or a flail or something? I mean, we could come up with a reason why they'd want anything and just say it's part of the lore. But I think using one of these is probably best. Wild orb of everything. We should have a single item that affects everyone. As for the lore behind this, it could be something that the guildmaster wants, e.g. pages from a book. Or it could just be a magical item that affects everybody. Oh yeah, I'm thinking of just making it one of these orbs. And if we had to pick one color, I would say it should be one of these 4 colors. I think the more colorful they are, the more it stands out from all the other items. Because if you just look at this sprite sheet, like you see a lot of brown in the bottom of it. A lot of canes and bows and shields. Like wood and leather are both kind of colored brown here. But you don't see a lot of purple. There's this, there's this, there's this. And I don't use any of those in the game right now. So yeah, I think we should probably take the purple orb. You do see a little bit of red, fire, and yeah, mostly like fire, I guess. Kind of makes something red. And then we have some other red things. Blue. I think the only blue item in the game that we use right now is this one. Yeah, so blue's not really represented too much. And then green, we use the cane. Yeah, so blue, green, or purple. I'll write that down. As for the color, blue or green or purple will stand out the most. You should probably opt for purple. Make it easy to spot at a glance. Blue pots as well. Oh yeah, blue potions and stuff. Yeah, I forgot about that. I guess we use all the colors for potions though. So it kind of throws the color thing out the window a bit. But they're slightly different colors. Well, the red's pretty similar, but if this isn't really purple, this is more like pink. But yeah, the blues are represented. Green we don't really use right now, but we could. And yellow I just don't like as a color. So we're not using yellow for that reason. All right, so purple is just going to be an orb probably. Not pets, no mini dragons. Are you asking, are there pets in the game? It's a very bizarre first chat message to send. I'll just say that. Yeah, no, there are no pets in the game. Welcome to the stream. If you're curious what game I'm making, by the way, there's a Steam page there. Okay, so then the next thing to figure out is how do you get these orbs? And I was thinking they could rarely show up in the chest. We say something like 90% chance to get a regular item, and then 10% chance for each adventurer to show up, or a 10% chance to get the all orb. And by the way, the other thing is, yeah, what do we call this orb? So this is how it could work, or it could be that a key adds this item to a chest. Now there's no real reason to add it to a specific chest, except that some chests may be closer to opening and you probably want this as soon as possible. And I kind of like the idea of getting a key that does this so that there's no way for you to get this loot if you weren't using the weapon grinder. This would encourage you to use the weapon grinder. You'd probably be using it anyway, and other perks are already encouraging it. But at least if it's only provided via a key, then oh wait, no, there's another problem though, isn't there? You wouldn't get this without, or like just by waiting around. Yeah, there's another problem though with having a key to it. Problem with keys is that you can manipulate them a bit. E.g., if there's only a like 5% chance of getting this key, you could just throw out the other 95% of the keys. So now you only get this key. And that's where if we made it so that you're converting items inside the chest, so if it has a rock shard in it and then you put this special key in and now it turns into this all orb, and now you couldn't use that same kind of key because it's like, well, there's no item to convert. You just have the rock shard. Then it would work, but then you could get to the point where you have a whole bunch of those keys that convert items and no way to use them. It'll solve itself though at some point. Yeah, I guess it's not a problem that can stick around for too long. And if we just make the odds such that you don't get them very frequently, then it should be okay. Huh. I wonder. So we have the gold key, which adds an item to the chest. The iron key, which lowers the time. The skeleton key, which does both. And then maybe we color this key purple and we make it be the all orb thing. Out of curiosity, if I just try changing the hue on this. Yeah, this changes pretty well. It was bright to begin with. So we just make it match the purple color of that orb that we have, which I'm not even looking at. It's up there. Yeah, so like there-ish. That's kind of close. What do I think about that? This is why you would have to convert an item in the chest. This also technically makes it so that you can convert an item or like items in a chest you don't care about, but I don't think anyone would care about micromanaging to that extent. Rather, it's just such a small payoff. You have so much other stuff to do that I don't think you're going to pay attention to like, oh, I'm offered the rogue cloak and I don't want the rogue cloak, so I'll put the key into that chest to make it turn into the adventures I do want. It's not really a big difference, especially because these represent fractions of a stat point. So which one of these sounds better? Having a key that does this or having them just show up? Well, I guess it maybe comes down to the perk. Either solution above will work, so which sounds better? Maybe it comes down to which perks adjust these chances. Okay, so suppose special keys gave you a chance to find a purple key or a gold key. A gold key is -1 minute to the time and +1 item to the chest. A purple key would be convert a specific item to an all orb. An iron key would just be -20 seconds to the time. And the skeleton key is going to be immediately open the chest and +5 items in the chest. So would you want gold keys? I guess they're letting you open chests sooner. You made a purple key. I mean, I didn't really make one, although making one is not hard. I could just hue shift the teal one so that now we have a purple key. By the way, the reason this whole purple thing came about, I know we were kind of joking about this yesterday, but I think I want to use the purple orb to represent this thing is going to upgrade every adventurer. So that would be one way of doing this. If we went with the orb being in the chest, then I guess there would be a perk. Yeah, I like the key route. Yeah, I'll write this down anyway. I guess there would be a perk that would increase that chance. We already have a perk for special keys. And having different kinds of keys sounds interesting. Maybe it adds time to the chest. I don't think that's a good idea, though. I think that'd be confusing. Maybe this is also -20 seconds. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, so I'm leaning toward there being a key that puts a special or converts an item in the chest to this. Now, there's another thing we could do here. We could make it so that purple keys convert all items in a chest to the all orbs. I think the problem there is that skeletons will often take the keys from you without you picking where they go. I also think this would get out of control pretty quickly. Yeah, okay. So then I think I'm pretty much set on this. We add in a purple key. So yeah, what do we call this orb and what do we call this key? Questions remaining. So Codex had said wild orb of everything. I want to think about this for a little bit because we have a couple different ways we could theme this. As I mentioned, one could be that the guild master cares about these. So it's some item that is just valuable to the guild master. And another is that it's somehow valuable to your adventurers. So like the archer's quiver, it's kind of like equipment. I guess if we're theming this as equipment, maybe it would be a ring or something. Or an amulet. We have some rings here. It could just be this purple ring. But I guess it doesn't make sense. How is it affecting every one of your adventurers? Like with a quiver affecting just the archer, you're assuming that the archer now has equipped a quiver, right? So that makes sense. The cloak, it's like, oh, well, the rogue is equipping a cloak, I guess. But how do you split something 10 ways? So I guess it's not that you're equipping it. It's something else is happening. Maybe it's powering up all your other stuff. Maybe it's powering up your other equipment. So it's like, we could call it everyone's orb of enhancement. I don't like the everyone's part, but every other piece of treasure follows this pattern of we say who it belongs to right here. So it says Golem's enchanted rock shard, and over here it says Mage's fire rod. Yeah, I don't know. I think Orb of Enhancement is fine. There's probably a punchier name we can come up with, but how do we tag it with who it belongs to? Because otherwise, I think it's gonna be a little bit confusing. Maybe it could be any ones. I don't think that's good either. All-purpose enhancement orb. All-purpose isn't too bad. Although it makes it sound more like a tool than a magical thing. Power blessing. Blessing of power. I wanted to indicate that it belongs to sort of anybody. Let's launch the game again really fast. Oh, hey, Sully. Sorry, I missed your message. I'm not very good at monitoring YouTube chat. Because like I said, it's just farther to the side that I have to look. A blessing is for all who will accept it. But it's not going to be clear just by looking at the treasure chest if that's the case. And that's kind of what I'm talking about here. Like, you look at a treasure chest now, and it looks like this. So when you see this, you're like, oh, I have a mage, I have a spirit caller, I have a witch doctor. And then you see like blessing of power. I mean, I guess we could put a tooltip on the key that says like adds a blessing of power, which affects all adventurers. Yeah. Maybe that's what we do. Omni, yeah, Omni's pretty good for this. What if we just call it the Omni Orb? Also, out of curiosity. Yeah, universally. Kind of like that. Hey, Envy, how you doing? It's still morning for me. But good afternoon to you. Yeah, so I think I like that. Omni Orb. That's a good start at least. So maybe we call this the Omni Key. Converts, or like the key of conversion. Converts a specific item in a chest to an Omni Orb, which affects all adventurers. A book that can be passed around. I think a book, my problem with that would be everything else is equipment, and a book wouldn't directly impact equipment, but I'm picturing that this could be like, I don't know, slotted into equipment, or it could be used as a magical thing for equipment. Oh, is Omni Codex already a thing? Is that why? No, never mind. I don't think it is. All right, what are the other keys called? Can I just make a bunch of keys here? I can't. There we go. Gold key adds one item to a chest and opens it sooner. Stop taking my keys. Oh, I see. Okay, that's a Winky Emote part of it. I'm taking your suggestions at face value. Little do I know you're advertising. Adds one item to a chest and opens it 60 seconds sooner. Opens the chest 20 seconds sooner. So we'd have a key of conversion that says this other stuff, which I guess would make it more complex. Converts a specific and adventurer specific item in a chest to an Omni Orb, which affects all adventurers. And also opens the chest 20 seconds sooner, I guess. And opens the chest 20 seconds sooner. Okay, so how am I feeling about this now? So rare keys would potentially have a chance of spawning a key of conversion. It would do so probably at a lower chance than you get a golden key. Also, the maximum we allowed you to upgrade this in regular mode was 100%. So now if I get another chest, actually, let's just get everything here. If we spawn a bunch of these, they're going to go use all their keys. But then new keys are always going to be golden or skeleton keys. Also, man, putting the key storage here was so much better. Yeah, so there's a skeleton key, so we can just open a chest immediately now. And this has a ton of items in it. This has a lot of items. Yeah, I think this is pretty cool. I like this idea. I like how treasure chests are evolving. May need to make workers never apply that key on a chest that already had one. Otherwise, it would feel really bad for it to get burned that way. Oh, just to be clear, the way this is going to work is it will only be usable on chests that have a specific item. So it's going to always convert specific to all, which is always an upgrade. Well, I guess there's one case, if you only had one adventurer, then it could be a side grade. But yeah, it's only going to ever do this. So it will not convert an all to an all, which would do nothing for you. It just won't be usable in that case. And we'll just control the rarities so that... Actually, we don't even need to do a lot to control the rarities for this. Even if it was a 50-50 chance of showing up, the gold key adds an item, and then the purple key converts an item. So on average, you'd add an item and then convert it to an all, and then add an item and convert it to an all. And sure, there might be a slight imbalance, but it wouldn't be probably severe. And I'm not going to make it a 50% chance. I'm going to make it like a 25% chance maybe. And another cool thing is that we could now grant some of these for free, or we could have a spell that affects this. I guess I'll write this down in some ideas. Ideas for later perks. Get a skeleton key or a key of conversion based on some event. Convert all guild supplies into omni orbs. Something like that. Okay, so I like this idea. Let's go code this idea. And we need to start with the question of, do we change this key to a purple key? And yeah, I think we do. All right, we're trying to match the color. Why is purple not here? Oh, there it is. I think the other tool is better for this. Yeah, that's close, but it's not exactly right. And the other one seemed like it was better. Which one was it? It's not that one. It's hue saturation. Yeah, so I changed this to something, I don't know where. Yeah, like thereabouts. Trying to get it to match this purple color. But I'm just doing it by eye, and I'm very bad at this. And then maybe what, do we make it lighter or something? No. Well, actually, yeah, lighter does look like it matches a little bit better, but then it changes the shadows and stuff on this, so I don't think that's probably a good idea. Let's set this back to 0. Actually, lightening it a bit might not be bad. I'm not changing the saturation. No. Accepts armor to reward this key. I have not forgotten about the armor dump. I will eventually come up with something for that, but I don't know what it's going to be yet. Yeah. All right, so this is at 130-ish right now. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, let's do that. So we export this right over it. So now we have a purple key. The purple key really does stand out, huh? Then we go manifest the ID for this thing. So we have gold key. We're going to have, I guess, purple key. All item data. So this was the teal key. In fact, we should just rename the teal key to the purple key. What am I doing? Purple key. All item data now has... Why is there an error in this file? Oh, yeah, because that. All right, we call this key of conversion. And we copy paste in whatever I wrote. Where did I write this? There it is. Converts an adventurer specific item in a chest to an omni orb, which affects all adventurers and opens the chest 20 seconds sooner. Sounds good. All right, then we go change special keys. So the weapon grinder creates keys, and right now it's a 90% chance to create a non-skeleton key. So what we're going to do is we're making another random chance. I guess we could just hard code this in here. If stat computations dot percent chance 75, it's going to be a gold key. Otherwise, it's going to be the purple key. Hey, Tiago. All right, so 25% of the time that you get a rare key, it's going to be the purple key. That's maybe still too much, but I think it would feel pretty good. Maybe we even lower this a little bit, like 70% chance. So it's a 30% chance you get a purple key. Yeah, let's try that. Then we need to control what happens when you get the purple key. So that happens in the treasure chest. So else if item ID equals the purple key. So what we need to do is convert an item to an Omni Orb. We also need to prevent you. Oh, this is another problem. I didn't think about this. We need to prevent you from putting in a purple key in a chest if you don't have an adventurer specific item. So I'll go write this down. Make purple keys in Omni Orbs work. Prevent putting a purple key in a chest that doesn't have an adventurer specific item. Prevent skeletons from doing this too. Make the Omni Orb apply to everyone. Maybe have a special floating text class that puts this above everything else. It should show in purple. What else? What else? I don't know what else. Okay, the problem here is there's some timing thing. Where is that? Get time adjustment from key. Purple keys are not going to work this way. Purple keys are going to work like regular keys, and they're going to give you 20 seconds, not 60 seconds. And then the other thing a purple key needs to do is it needs to convert specific item to Omni Orb. Yeah, so let's delete all that. Put this over here. Private void that. All right, so how do we do this? We need to go through. Actually, this is kind of similar to what I want. This is not the correct thing though. I want to just check item IDs. So the item ID needs to be a new thing. I don't even have an item ID for this yet. I guess let's go add that. We never manifested these, did we? We probably didn't. These orbs. Does orb appear in here somewhere? Or ball? I guess the way we'd find out for sure is by looking in this and finding something we definitely did manifest. One of these brooches I did. Brooch. Okay, brooch has 3 on there. So if we just search for comma 4, we should find every one of these things. Yeah, nice. And now we can look at which column this is in. 1, 1, 4, right there. So this is the blue orb. What do we call this? Spellbook. Oh, whoops, I'm off by 1. Spellbook is there. Oh, it's 1, 5 is what I wanted. All right, so comma 5 parenthesis. Yeah, it's only the mushroom. Okay, so we never manifested this. So let's go manifest an Omni Orb. It's an adventurer power-up. Bring this to the guild to power up all adventurers. Cool. The sell value of this should probably be like ×5. And then the coordinates of this. The mushroom is there. We want to go 2 back from there. So 4. Then we make a new item ID. Omni Orb. Cool. So we go through all these and we see how many of them are Omni Orbs. And if it's 0, then we return. So there should be something like will accept key of conversion, which is to figure out how many non-Omni Orbs you have. I don't want to do that. List item ID, get adventurer specific loot. Yeah, so it's just going to be this. Loot where the ID is not equal to item ID dot omni orb. Okay, is it just saying this isn't being used now? Yes, it is. All right, so then this can be called into, you can call into that function. And then we can also have a Boolean. Private bool will accept key of conversion is going to be return adventure specific loot.count is greater than 0. Great. So we get those if it's 0 return, otherwise just get a random one of them and set it to 0. We should have like loot.remove item. Yeah, nice. And how does this work? Oh, we don't have a quantity here. Tastes like 2 refrigerated combo slices that were reheated in the microwave and slapped together. Oh, that's too bad. But at least you finally got one. I bet you were excited. I'm just happy with their pizza. I do like calzones, but I think the best calzone is one that people don't typically make, which is a calzone with a ton of spinach inside. I don't know why, it just tastes so good. And I don't mind adding some other stuff too, like onions or peppers, or maybe mushrooms. But man, spinach on pizza is so good. Spinach and calzones is so good. I'm not even like the biggest spinach fan. What's your favorite pizza, Hepta? Is it combo pizza? Actually, I think one of my favorite pizzas I've had, it was a pizza with, I want to say fig, arugula, balsamic vinegar. Maybe that was it. Yeah, something like this. Fig and arugula. So good. I had a frozen pizza last night because I've planned my food very poorly for this week. And it was okay. I think there are some frozen pizzas that are actually pretty good. In fact, actually Costco's are pretty good. But yeah, this one was only okay. And I don't have any leftovers now. All right, so we can't just remove an entire item. We need to remove a quantity of an item. When do we ever call this? Storeroom does it. Oh, this is not good. Ugh, I don't want to do this. All right, how about this? Let's make another function. Remove quantity of item, item ID, quantity. All right, so what do we have here? If it exists, then set the new quantity, otherwise remove it, otherwise set this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And if it doesn't exist, then I guess we just don't do anything. Some tomato and cheese sounds fantastic. This is like your bread with tomato. You keep trying to push on me. I get choice fatigue, so I just default to what they have. Don't need 15 brands to choose from. Yeah, I think there's some amount of trust that goes into this too, and I generally at least trust Costco to pick good products. I agree with something like buying eggs. I generally don't care too much. So yeah, whatever Costco has. But when it comes to other foods, it's not necessarily that you need, like, I don't know, take pizza as an example. Costco's probably going to have like 2 kinds of pizza. So it's not, okay, do like which of these 2 kinds do I want? Is what if you wanted a 3rd or a 4th kind, then you don't even have that option. So it's still choosing between all of the things in a grocery store. Bread with tomato is goat for breakfast. No, I'll tell you what the best breakfast is. The best breakfast is eggs, hash browns, and toast. There's no better breakfast. That's the best breakfast. Maybe a smoothie to drink on top of that. But that's the breakfast of champions right there. Okay, so we want to do this. Loot dot remove quantity of item. We're going to convert that, and then we're going to add in an omni orb. And we're going to just add in one of those. Where's the protein? The eggs? That is a good breakfast. Yeah, see? Hey, Iron Crusader. Also, you can put protein powder in the smoothie if you want. I mean, I know each egg is like 6 grams of protein, but still, you can have like 3, 4 eggs. It's not bad for breakfast. All right, so I think this is looking decent. We don't check to see if the chest will accept this key, and we're going to need to do that. So where is this? Will accept item is not there. Apply key, make key fly to chest. Hmm. Shouldn't this be a destination? It is. How is this working then? Shouldn't there be like a will? Oh, there it is. All right. So if the item is a key and it's not openable. So how about this? If item.id is equal to, I'm not going to do this in like a cutesy way or anything. Let's get the purple key. If the item is a purple key, then just return whether or not it'll accept a key of conversion. And if the chest is not openable, then just return none or return false. Yeah, so that's it. The only key with a special condition is the purple key. So that should be finished now. And when you put it in, you can get an omni orb, but omni orbs don't actually do anything yet. But let's just test what we have so far. So how would we run this? We need to get a purple key, and then we should see it clearing out items in here. Oh, I never added in. Yeah, there. Okay. Yeah, I just realized I have a best breakfast in mind. I don't have a best other meal in mind. Maybe I need to get on that. All right, so we already maxed this out, right? Yeah. So what, 30% of the time we get a purple key now? Oh, nice. There it is. Key of conversion. Converts an adventurer-specific item in a chest to an omni orb, which affects all adventurers. Maybe not affects all adventurers. Affects... Maybe we should say improves all adventurers. What do the other ones say? Where are those items? Golems. Power up. Powers up all adventurers. Yeah, there. Hey, Zeppu. Swap to salads for lunch because fatty stuff just makes me tired in the middle of the day. Yeah, I think I've had a problem with this lately. I think my lunches are like knocking me out. I need to figure out something better. Swiss chicken bake. Sounds good. Yeah. Okay, so now let's get a treasure chest. So this has 3 things. We're going to put this in. It's going to convert an item. It didn't do that, and it broke everything. Look at him jiggling around there. Wait. That's not even caused by the treasure chest, is it? It must be that they're not accepting this? What is going on right now? I don't think this is a pathfinding thing. I think this is that change I made to will accept item. So if it's not openable, return false. Let's put a breakpoint here. Well, I guess I don't want a breakpoint here. I want a breakpoint here. It's not even getting to that. What? Oh, I think I know what's happening because it can only find one treasure chest. So I got to put a breakpoint here and then figure out where this is being called from. State process, handle key, treasure chest. Okay, so it's trying to, oh, darn it. It's trying to go to a treasure chest. Find chest for key needs to work differently. Yeah, this is not going to work. We need to pass in. Is this only ever done once? It's not. Oh, man. Okay, well, I guess we need to pass in the item. Can we do this everywhere? Item. So that one's done. This one Yeah, nice. We could do that. HC.item. All right, what else? This one, item. And the last one is... Oh, that was it. All right, so we need to check to see, will the chest accept the key? Yeah, there. That should do it. And that should be constant time still. I mean, the addition of this. There is no argument corresponding to item. Find key for chest. What? What does this even mean? Find key for chest? Oh, I see. Find a key to be able to pick up to put into a chest. Okay. All right. So what does this take in? Let's find an item source. A key that's going to be accepted. This isn't good. This isn't good. Yeah, this isn't good. Okay, so all of these cases can return a key, but then we don't know if that key is going to work. So we need to make sure that... No, this is going to be difficult. This is going to be really difficult. We basically just need to get all the keys that you could possibly get and then see which ones will work in a treasure chest. Because if you only have purple keys, there's no guarantee that it'll work. Okay, let me think about this. So if a worker wants to go pick up a key, we need to list all possible keys and then see which ones will work on treasure chests. Alternatively, we could figure out which chests will accept certain keys ahead of time. Yeah. Ugh. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't like this. All right, well, here's what I'm thinking. Figure out which keys will be accepted by some treasure chest. And then later, when finding the keys, see if they're in the set of acceptable keys. Okay, let's do that. This is unfortunately not going to be easy to do. Yeah, this isn't going to be easy to do. Hey, Christius. Are you doing the keys by tiers? What do you mean? I'll just explain, actually. It's probably easier. There are 4 keys. There is the iron key, which is minus 20 seconds to a chest. There is the gold key, which is minus 60 seconds and plus 1 item. There's the skeleton key, which is minus 100% of the time. Opens immediately and plus 5 items. And then there's the purple key, which is minus 20 seconds and converts an item to a better one, but only if such a conversion is possible. So up until the purple key existed, as long as a chest hadn't been opened, it could accept the key. Now we have 2 conditions. We have a chest can only accept a purple key if it has a specific item in it and it hasn't been opened. And then any key if the chest hasn't been opened. So we have this, we now can only know whether a chest will accept a key if we know the kind of key that it is, whereas we didn't need to know that beforehand, which is why this is slightly more problematic. And if I do this, everything's going to work. It'll be fine. It's just a little tedious to do. That's all. Because we have will accept item, not will accept item ID. Well, I guess we could add will accept item ID. I guess it could be called in that same way. So I can make a public bool will accept item ID, item ID, item ID. Except we need to know the category. I guess we could get its data. All item data dot get item ID. Yeah, so we could just code this exact same function over here. Alternatively, what does it take to create an item? Instantiate a scene. Then we would need to delete the item afterward. I wonder if we ever do that. No, I want to search for item.create. Add item to shop, add item thought bubble. Free the item, yep. It's converter and battle screen, create. Oh, potion. Yeah, that should free it. Spawn item should be fine. Man, there's so many of these things. But so far, everything looks good. Set treasure. Is that correct? Do we store this somewhere? We don't. I think this is a problem. Oh no, we free it. Okay, that's kind of stupid. What else do we have here? Create the treasure chest. Set treasure to the treasure chest. Yeah. Debug cheat. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay, so every one of these things works and makes sense. So we got to go back to what I was doing here. I guess we could create an item, but we'd have to free it afterwards. I don't want to do that. I thought certain keys only open certain chests, so all keys can open all chests, but the purple one has a chance to upgrade the item. The purple one, well, it's not a chance, although this is just being pedantic at this point, sorry. But the purple key, it always upgrades an item, assuming one can be upgraded. So if one can't be upgraded, the key won't even work on that chest. But yes, otherwise you're correct in your summary of this. Yeah. So I just coded, let's go take a look at this. I just coded the will accept item ID. So now will accept item can just do return will accept item ID, item.id. So now we don't need any of this code, which means that we can get all of the different item IDs that might be accepted. They always have to be keys. And we have all of the keys somewhere. If I just search for purple key. Yeah, so non-skeleton rare keys. What if I search for item ID.skeleton key? Is that in an array anywhere? Nope. Well, then let's put it in the treasure room. Although I guess we could just get all the different things that are keys. Although I don't have those anywhere easily. I could go through every single item and find them, which I should probably do. All keys. You should probably store this in all item data. And I don't do this anywhere else, do I? Get all guild supply items. This goes through every adventure class and gets them. I don't think that's smart. I don't think that's smart. I also don't think this is even correct now. We added another guild supply item ID. Is this going to change anything? What does this do? Grant instant loot. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind that. And then what's the other one? There's only one other place this is used. And it's here. Grant free guild supplies. Yeah, so anytime you get a guild supply, you do not have a chance of getting one of these Omni orbs. I think that's okay. Because otherwise I think this would be too powerful. Yeah, I think that's okay. So I'm going to say, note, this cannot return Omni orbs. All right. But that's not what we were trying to do right now. What I was trying to do is figure out what are all the keys. And that should be a hash set. Public static hash set item ID. All key IDs. And I want to store this once. So we don't need a get here. Item category is that. All right. Field should not follow a method. Sure, whatever. So now what's the problem? Dereference a possibly null value. It shouldn't be null. It just needs to be done after this. I guess we make a static constructor and do this. Do I have a static constructor? Okay, I didn't expect it to be as long of a data structure as this. No, I don't. All right, that's fine. So public static all item IDs get private or just init. And then delete that and now set a, how do we do this? Public static all item data. And set that here. Does that work? Access modifiers are not allowed on static constructors. Sure. Semicolon after is not necessary. Yep, sure. Init is not valid. Okay, cool. So now we have, oh, that shouldn't be called all item data. That should be called all, oh, yes, it should. Constructor should not follow properties, the problem. Ugh. There. Okay, so now we have all the key IDs. Field should not follow constructor. I sure love these ordering things that Ryder would have just fixed for me. Yeah, so now we have all key IDs, and I can finally do the thing I wanted to do from inside of item functions somewhere. Yeah, so figure out which keys will be accepted by some treasure chest. All right, this should be not too bad to do. So we're going to make a hash set of acceptable keys. We need to get every treasure chest that exists where the chest will accept a key, but we gotta eventually, hang on a second. I don't know how a worker figures out what chest to use, but fine. Let's do this. So we're going to take every all item data dot key IDs, and we're going to get keys where the key ID is going to get accepted by the treasure room or by the treasure chest. How do I do this? I mean, if you have a key, then you are able to have chests. So this should not be a question mark at this point. List, oops. Treasure chest, chests equals this. Otherwise, I guess it's just empty. So chest.any will accept item ID, key ID. We can delete that. We can delete that. And we can delete that. No, wait, no, you can't. I don't think so, at least. Maybe you could do it this way. No, that's not valid, is it? No, that's fine. We'll just do it that way. Hey, Elite. Anyone here have access to Sword 2? Willing to share one of their invite codes? There's a ton of people just scamming and selling their fake invite codes online. Why would you trust? Oh, I guess you're looking to get it for free. Yeah, I don't have one. Did they talk about when it'll eventually be general availability? All right, figure out which keys will be accepted. By the way, please try to... Oh, weird. I can't tag you in a message for some reason. Oh, because you have an I in your name? Yeah, are there any like Discord servers you're in that you could maybe ask about? Because I imagine you'd have more success asking in a community you're already in rather than, I guess, just like randomly asking in Twitch streams. All right, so figure out which keys will be accepted by some chests. So acceptable keys are take any of the keys and figure out, is there a chest that will accept that item? Then when we, I guess if acceptable keys.count is 0, then we can just stop. I'm not saying the Sora Discord. I'm saying any Discord servers you're already in. Like, whatever, for a random community of people, maybe somebody you play games with, something like that. Because, yeah, it is a little strange to just go into random Twitch streams and try to find it. You might as well just wait. I don't know. All right, we can fix all these things up too. Well, this doesn't have any real impact. And where's the last one of these? There it is. Okay, so now we need to do is check to see, are any of these keys acceptable? So ground item, source item category, I get. These are just item IDs. So I guess we can just check to see if this doc contains the item ID. Yeah. All right, cool. Not bad, not bad. Now we do the same thing over here. Oops, I already knew how I wanted to change that. And then we do the same thing down here, right? Check key storage. Get occupied displays. But then we need to do a dot where it's an acceptable thing. And then if it's greater than 0, then return a sample of it. Yeah, but then this becomes a regular list. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter either way. Oh, okay. I think this is good. Yeah, I think this is good. I think we might have fixed the problem. Let's go try it out. So now they should actually bring keys to treasure chests, and they should only bring a purple key if the purple key is going to be applicable. But I want to try this myself with a purple key at first. So I'm going to make a purple key, and then this we're going to convert an item. It did not work. It's using the key, but it's not applying any of the effects. That's strange. That's very strange. Hang on a second. Let me try that again. They're picking up keys and then dropping them immediately. It's super busted. Oh, man. Oh, it's going into here. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. That's really, really, really bad. Okay, well, what's interesting is it did add the Omni Orbs in here. So if I open this, I should get a whole bunch of items. But what happens when you bring the Omni Orb to the Guild Master? I'm guessing it's going to cause an exception or something? Yeah. Giving key Omni Orb not present in the dictionary. Yeah, I'm going to fix that later. That was never supposed to be fixed now. But it's putting keys in chests that shouldn't be acceptable. So this checks to see if it's open. Checks to see if it'll accept this thing. So what am I doing wrong? Key storage, unacceptable keys. And then we get a key from here. I'm messing something up. All right, well, I'm the one putting a key into a chest. So let's go figure out where that happens. Drop off item. Click. Okay. And now we get a key and a treasure chest. And I put this in here. All right, so what happened? Closest destination? Oh God. I see. Get closest valid item destination. If it's a key, just get treasure chest. This isn't good. Yeah, this isn't good. Strange. I wonder how this ever worked. Because we were always getting the closest treasure chest, but the closest one may not be the one that will actually accept the key, but it was never broken. Huh. Then we call drop off on that specific thing. Why don't we check if this will accept it? You need to query the chest directly since we don't want the displays to be highlighted when dragging a key. This checks will accept item, this doesn't. So confused. Yeah, so confused. How did this ever work? Oh, valid item destination. Oh, this checks will accept item. Oh, okay. All right, so we need to reload. And then I need to try the same thing I was trying earlier, where I make a chest and I try putting a key into here, but it instead goes into the one over there for some reason. So this should not have been acceptable. And that's what I'm trying to find out here. Closest destination should be a treasure chest, right? Yeah, is openable is set to... Oh, wait a second. Okay, maybe openable meant something I didn't expect. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. I might have made this backwards. I expected this to be false for some reason. Will accept item. If it's not openable, return false. Yeah, I think I inverted that. No, I didn't invert it. It's got to be a key and it's got to not be openable. No. So if it is openable, return false. Yeah. I messed that up. Okay, openable to me meant that you could put a key in it, but that's not what openable means. Openable means you can just open the treasure chest, which means you've already put all the keys into it. So they're opposites. Now I think we might have this working. So now let's go try this out. So I put a purple key into this one and it should convert an item. Nice. So we converted one of them into an Omni Orb. Now skeleton should only go to this one with this. Good. Let's get some more of these chests. Whoops. I clicked too many times. All right. I need to try, let's have the weapon grinder only generate purple keys. That way I can test what happens when you try putting too many in, because it should stop you from doing that. So you should only be able to put 3 in, and then that's it. They shouldn't ever try to put more in. And I guess we need another key to exist, which could be a skeleton key. So I click this. Nice. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to put in this, and this. And now a purple key will not work. So it has to take the skeleton key. Now, was that coincidence? Who knows? So let's take a look at what's happening here. So they should only put 3 into these. Good. Now we're going to generate some more. So they're going to take 1 key and put it into each chest. Good. And now they can only take the skeleton keys. They are not doing that. It looked like they picked up the purple keys anyway. It's hard to tell though. So let's go check out the VOD. because I can't see
Hard to
that
tell.
quickly what happened. All right, so we speed this up a little bit. Okay, so the paladin does not have the purple key in hand yet, but there's still a valid chest for them to get it for. And now there isn't, but the paladin's still gonna go grab. Oh, maybe they got the idea to pick it up before they found out it was invalid. You should probably check right before they pick it up. Item display functions. Find key for chest. Where is this done? Worker wander. Yeah, I'd love right before they pick up the item to see is it still a valid item, but they should probably check every once in a while in transit. Either way, at least they're not putting it into a treasure chest. So I do believe this is working. And I am feeling pretty good about this. So what do we need to do now? We need to make Omni Orbs actually be functional. I think we should take a break before we do that. Yeah, so this is done. This is done. Oh, and then the only other thing I didn't check is it also reducing the amount of time on the chest by 20 seconds? It should be. All right, so that's got 10 minutes. We click here. No, it's reducing it by... Oh, no, that's fine. We're not in challenge mode. Yeah. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, neat. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I'm going to make these Omni Orbs work. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Okay, hello, hello. Close the game. Hey, Raimu. Hey, Kavino. How you both doing? I believe I said close the game. Computer. 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 All right, and to answer you, Mars, yeah, it's 4.4 stable, mono official. All right, so we got to get Omni Orbs working. And there was an exception when it tried turning one in. Add processed item by category. What is that? Add processed item by category. Adventurer class. There is no adventurer class. Okay, okay. This is the issue, right? It's line 71. Yeah, it's, I know what we're gonna have to do. Had to anti-cheer for Mars there. Man. By the way, Kavino, I've been meaning to ask you something, and probably this would have been a better question for me to ask you when I was in your stream, so that you could just tell me the answer instead of typing out the answer. But you set out to do game dev, and I believe you said you hadn't known programming beforehand. Like, what exactly, I guess, I don't know how to phrase this correctly. Like, what was the motivation? Because as an example, I'm just thinking if I said something like, I'm going to be the world's best artist, I imagine how this would go for me is I would start learning how to draw. I would probably not find it like ultra fun. And then I'd probably give up. I'm not trying to imply that you should have given up or anything. You seem to be having fun. You seem to still be motivated and everything. But what got you to start? Like, what was the springboard for you that got you to stick around with game dev? Because like I said, I think it's good. I'm not trying to imply anything. I think more often than not, that process probably doesn't work for people. And I wonder what the sort of confounding evidence here. By the way, the context of why I'm asking, one, I'm curious, but two, I hear people give beginner advice to game devs, and I see beginner game devs ask for advice. And I want to kind of calibrate my own compass for that. All right, so this adventurer mapping doesn't exist. This is a mapping. Where do we set this? Right here. Okay, so I want to do this for all of them. If item ID equals item ID.OmniOrb, then apply OmniOrb. And yeah, I guess we pass in the quantity. Otherwise, we do this. Where's the total? Count plus quantity. What is a category? Oh, it's just skilled supplies. That's it. Okay. I started out coding to modify the enterprise resource planning software the company I worked for bought. As for game dev, it seemed more fun than writing program code. Yeah, I think the best kind of game dev that I enjoy is like testing out ideas at the beginning of a game. Actually, is it that? I'm not sure. One of the nice things about this is if you're just testing things out, it generally means you don't have to maintain that code. And not having to maintain code means you can cut a lot of corners. One of the problems, so this is a nice pro, but one of the downsides is you don't have any precedence. So you're making new fixtures or hacking things together. Hey again, Filler. How goes it? How's your midweek? Fun building new things. Sucks slogging through mundane code. Yeah. But then I guess the downside to this also is the early stages of a project are probably not super interesting to people. like to consumers, I guess I should say. So picture any game that you've played that you've liked. I don't know, maybe a Zelda game. Now imagine trying to play that like 2 months into development. It's probably terrible. Right? How many projects take many years and are fun at the very beginning, or like a book that is great when it's 10% complete or something. But yeah, obviously you don't just start out with a goal of stopping, but yeah. Hey Luna, yeah, no worrying about tech debt. Gotta love Bongo Cat. Have my laptop back, started streaming again. Gonna stream this afternoon, looking forward to that. Nice, 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 nice. It's all engine work, I'm guessing? Oh boy, long story. I was gonna say, did Covino forget about me? This is why I probably should ask on your stream. In short, got into entrepreneurship after thinking I wanted to go into real estate. During this time, I was just starting to come out of some heavy depression where I gamed for at least 12 hours per day, did nothing besides that. So I started a cockroach breeding company, then didn't like the path and the future for it if I were to scale past 10K per month. Started a lifeguard training company. Wow, okay, yeah. I remember hearing about this. I didn't know if it was a joke. It sounds like it's not a joke. I'm also curious, of all the things I could focus on, this is like the least important, and yet I'm going to ask about this anyway. But what were you playing? Because I imagine it must have been a MOBA, an RPG, or an FPS. I can't imagine it being anything other than those three genres. And I'm inclined to think it's one of these two. Was scaling that well, but talked to competitors and noticed they all had something I didn't have. They had this external motivation. For what it's worth, I think had you stuck with it, I don't think it would have been necessary. But I think some intrinsic motivation is pretty helpful for any long-term endeavor. Played a ton of World of Warcraft and Ark Survival Evolved. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I guess Ark I would probably not call an RPG first. I'd call it a survival game. But yeah, World of Warcraft's definitely an RPG. Need to build a game to showcase the engine to potential customers. Showcase best practices. I've been working on a farming game basically full-time for the last month. Cool. Yeah. I think farming games, as far as showing off in demos, is also pretty easily understandable. And I guess there's a lot you can do with any farming game too. Oh, I guess if the point is to show off the engine, then it doesn't need to be a very fun game. It just needs to be a very fun demo. Can I ask you a question that's not related to the stream? Yeah, sure, Maisie. I'm gonna guess this has to be. Anyway, I'll just wait. So I thought about that motivation and something I struggled with, and thought, what if I could have taken something from the video games I played and been able to apply it to IRL stuff? Then boom, started game dev. Yeah, you've been very dedicated to it, and I admire that. I also think you've learned a lot in that time, and you talked about this the other day, a little bit about making a game fun. I think this is a very big challenge, and I think it's complicated a lot by game production times. So like typically most games are going to take more than 1 year to make, and what everyone else is doing. And I've had a theory lately, and I'm pretty confident in this, but if you're a solo dev, whatever games you're playing at the time will seep into your game. And I generally think this is a bad thing. And I think maybe one of the solutions is like play tons of games so that it's not, you're not getting like a hyper focus of a certain game in it. But this is sort of tangential to what we're talking about, is not being able to swallow a pill common. I have no idea. Let's find out. Lots of people find it hard to swallow pills. I'm going to say yes. All right, so Omnior replying to everyone. We haven't done this yet. And this gets the adventurer class here from the item ID. We're going to apply it to every adventurer class at once. So we want to do this. But what does process guild supply actually do? Does it spawn text or something? What is this? Get guild supply cost. Total number of a particular item you collected. Oh, I see. All right, so how does this work? How costly is this function? Some of this could probably be simplified a bit. What is this doing? Get adventurer. Adventure's on null. Yeah, this is all pretty straightforward. And I have a selected one. Okay, I'm happy enough with that. So then we're going to call into this from down here. Hey, Orange Ray. That's pretty funny. How do you overcome the fear of swallowing it? I don't know. I remember also as a kid, I was injured and needed to go to the hospital, and they told me to take a pill, and I'd only, because I was a kid, I'd only ever had like chewable pills at that point. So I just chewed on that pill too, and it was not meant to be chewed, which doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means it tastes terrible. And at that point, I realized I should probably try to learn how to swallow pills. But I don't remember what I did to learn how. And I don't like doing it. Suppose anyone asked how he felt about failing 2,000 times to make the incandescent light bulb filament. He said, I didn't fail. I learned 2,000 ways how not to make it. Yeah. Probably one of the slowest growing things to get into with some crazy high risk. Yeah. Yeah. I think there are a lot of challenges. And over the course of my career as a game dev, I've essentially had two careers. I've had a career as a like general tech dev, I would say, and then a career as a game dev. And the game dev stuff has always kind of been in the background a bit. I did Botland on stream and everything. But anyway, in the career as a game dev, I would have split it into phases. And I'd say at the beginning, I think some of the difficulties were like coding, structuring projects. And then sort of in the middle, it was product market fit, like coming up with an MVP, scoping things. And now where I am, I'd say the difficulties are like, it is somewhat a motivation problem. It's very tough to stay on track for many years. And I think it's hard to do it if you're mostly solo. So if you have a co-founder or you have a partner who's working with you or you have a team that's all pretty dedicated, I think these things can really help on the motivation front. And then I think the other thing is still, well, I think that's the biggest struggle for me. But yeah, over the course of the career I've done in game dev, I think I've had different struggles, and it's interesting looking back on those. And then now I'm just like, I want to work with other smart people who are also on this project. And it's like, well, okay, that takes money. It takes networking. It takes finding the smart people and everything. About 50 half-started projects, and I keep everyone because I've had countless times where I was like, I need to do this thing. I remember doing that on the other project. Yeah, also, if you do invest quite a lot in just a single language, then you can build up libraries that you can look back to later and ideally reuse them between all your projects. And that way you feel like you're building something up. It's the roguelite way of building games, so to speak. All right, so we go through every single class and we say that you've turned this in. Cool, that's it. All right, so let's go try it now. It's gonna result in a lot of spam, I think. Like we're gonna spawn 10 different notifications at once. Although that won't always happen. They will eventually be staggered, but let's try this out. Let's also turn on sounds to hear how loud it gets. Whoops, that's not the sounds button. Whoops, that's not the continue game button. Let's click everything correctly this time. There we go. All right, so I need there to be an Omni orb. So we do this. I don't care about that. We do that and we do this. Okay, so we have an Omni orb. Now we're gonna pick the Omni orb and put it into the guild. Yeah, so that's what was gonna happen. We spawned 10 of those notifications. So now everyone went up a level, I think. No, not everyone. That wasn't 10. They're all at different amounts. Yeah, well, whatever. So I need them all to put in. Oh, they're not gonna have enough. And I have it running so that they only turn in. Wait, what? Why are they only getting purple keys? Did I forget that code? Oh my god, I left it. Okay, whoops. There's only supposed to be a 30% chance that they get a purple key. Okay, my bad. I was like, that's statistically unlikely. It is possible. It's possible that a player plays and only ever gets purple keys, but it's fantastically unlikely. All right, so now we get a key. Let's get a few of these in here. I'm just gonna keep jamming these in. Wait a second though. Now that this isn't challenge mode. I am smart. I know what I'm doing. All right, so we get an Omni Orb out of this. I wanted more Omni Orbs. I guess the odds are pretty low. Let's put all the gold keys into this one so I can put all the orb ones into this. Something's wrong here. Yeah, that didn't seem correct. Did a skeleton put a key in and I just didn't notice? Let me refresh this page. I'm putting gold keys into that chest. Oh, wait, what? No, go back a couple frames. Okay, so this has 3 items. It has the Witch Doctor one, the Spirit Caller one, and the Mushroom one. I dropped the, oh, the Mushroom's coming over with a gold key though. So that's gonna add in the Warrior item, I bet. So now I hover over this. The key hasn't made it in yet, but I converted one item. Now the key made it in and it should add the Warrior one. It added the Golem one. And then I added in that key. Oh, now the Cleric's coming up here. Okay, we gotta stop them from doing that. I drop this in. It converts that item. Now the Cleric puts it in and that should add the Warrior one. Yeah, that did. And now I put in the 4th key and it converts the Witch Doctor one. And then I'm left with the Warrior item still. Yes, good. Okay, that's working as intended. The thing that's not exactly working as intended is that characters are walking up here and like onto the tree. But I haven't fixed up the terrain here, so I'm not gonna do that yet. Anyway, we open this up, we get a whole bunch of Omni Orbs. Let's watch them bring those in. We'll speed this up a little bit. So if I just hover over the mage, they're at 2 out of 3. Yeah, so they're leveling up as they put those in. Good, perfect. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, and I said put some special floating text. There are a couple different ways we could do this. I think let's leave it as is for now. Yeah, so this is done. All right, wow, what a change. Oh man. What am I doing? I'm working on a game called Skeleseller, and I was just adding a new mechanic to the game. Excuse me. So first of all, the game overall is a laid-back town management game. You get adventurers, you send them into battle, they fight for you, and they collect items, and you sell those items. So we have a mage and a cleric. They're super overpowered, so they're gonna kill this thing in 1 hit. And they got me some potions, which I then can go put into my shop, and customers will come over and buy these. So that's a general gameplay loop. Battle, get items, sell the items. But the thing we've been working on lately has been this treasure system to try to make it a little bit better. So in this treasure chest, you can see there are a bunch of different adventurer items, like the Spirit Caller's brooch and the Warrior's plate. And what we just added is the ability to turn one of these items into an Omni Orb. And this Omni Orb affects every adventurer. So now we get a bunch of items out of this. And when we put this Omni Orb into the guild, we get a whole bunch of level up. And I know that text is not readable because it's got like 4 of them stacked on top of each other. But yeah, it's working. Yeah, so this is gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to playtesting this. So let's go write some of this stuff down. All key IDs. This is... I don't think we need a comment for this. I think it's pretty obvious what it is. It's all the key IDs. Oh no, yellow. Field should not follow a property. Ugh. God, some of these things, I swear. All right, so where are the properties that we have here? Can I put this here? Will it complain at me? No, that's it. It's cool. Same with your keyboard. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the keyboard is a corn keyboard. Field should not follow a constructor. Why? Why can't it just arrange these things for me? God, I hate doing this. It's just such a waste of time. All right, so is everything fine now? Yeah, except for this. Out var challenge mode value. Let's use the explicit type. What? Oh, value. Yeah, okay, cool. Sure, okay, so there's that. So we added in the Omni Orb and changed the teal key to a purple key. This all looks fine. This I kind of want to check in on its own, just to fix a linting problem. Fix linting issue. Now I don't get confused by it. Hey, Phil. All right, looks good. This is okay. I'm not super happy with this. Yeah, the rest of this looks nice. Okay, I should probably put a comment for this. Sometimes we want to check if an item can be accepted without actually having the full item instance, since then we would need to free it. And for this one, I'm going to say thin wrapper around this. Cool. All right, purple key, convert to Omni Orb. Yeah, this is this is pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, so then the only questionable thing is this code, and it's not really that it's questionable, it's just super ugly. So we have acceptable keys. I'll write first, figure out which key IDs can even be accepted given the chest we have. That way we don't iterate over every chest for every key. Yeah, the rest of this looks pretty good though. And the reason we have to do it in this order is because we want workers to prioritize the keys that are on the ground first. Keys on the ground can disappear. Then we check the warehouse because you don't want your warehouse collecting up with a bunch of keys. And then we check key storage because can only hold keys. So you don't really care if keys are there because they're not stopping another item from being there. So that's good. I mean, we could have thrown them all into a priority queue or something. I don't think we need to do that. Oh God, what did I just do? I tried to press that, but hopefully I didn't just make a change to the code. Let's look through it again. Yeah. Yeah, everything looks the same. Okay. All right, so add Omni Orbs. The teal key is now purple so that it matches the orb color. Omni Orbs affect all adventurers at once when turned in. So let me think about this. The chance of getting a rare key at first is 5%. So in the early game, you're pretty much not going to get them. You'll just get iron keys for minus 20 seconds. And then as you level this up, the chance rises by 15% per level. So then you start getting gold keys, skeleton keys, and purple keys. But I want to figure out what the chances of those are. So let's check this in before I do that. It's not like I'm waiting on that. All right, so where's the chance? It's 0.7F. We just have to search for it. Yeah, right there. All right. So common key versus rare key is dictated by the level of your special keys skill. And it goes 5%, 20%, 35%, 50, and then 65. So those are the levels, and this is level 0. Then if you get a rare key, the probabilities split down into this. 90% chance of gold or purple. Well, I guess let's just say this. It's 10% chance it's a skeleton key. And then 90% chance it's not a skeleton key. And in this case, it's a 70% chance that it's gold and 30% chance that it's purple. So we can figure out from all of these, what is the chance of getting a skeleton key? So we have a 5% chance of getting a rare key, and then a 10% chance of getting a skeleton key. So it is a 1% chance of getting a skeleton key. And then that rises to that can't be right. Wait, no, 0.5%. What am I talking about? Yeah, that definitely can't be right. So getting a skeleton key, it's going to be 0.5%, 2%, 3.5, 5%, 6.5. That's decent. These are supposed to be very rare no matter what. Now, what are the odds of getting a purple key? So it's going to be 5% times 90%. So 4.5% chance to get a rare key. And then 30% chance that it's purple. So times 30% is a 1.35% chance. I should just figure out what that number is supposed to be. I guess 1.5 divided by 1.35. I could have done that differently. Yeah, so let me do that. So is that 5.4% to, I don't want to keep figuring this out. 29, 5.4, 9.45%. Anyway, then it keeps going up from there. I guess it's going to add roughly 4% per level, right? So it's probably about 13.5% and then like 17.5%. So the thing I'm trying to figure out from this is how quickly will you get more power? Because every time you get a purple key, it basically counts as 10 items. I don't know. We just got to play test it. I think all this is pointless. All right, so this is done. All right, next up is chests have more loot in them. Excuse me. Is that interesting? Keys are very plentiful. So starting with lower time is not very interesting. Yeah, but starting with more loot is interesting. Rare keys should still exist. I mean, it's already done. Chests have more loot. Okay, how do we want to do this? What are we starting with now? 3? Treasure chest. Num starting items in chest 3. It's not really that interesting to get more. Or not a lot more at least, right? Like toward the end, aren't you just going to be struggling to keep up with how much treasure there is? I don't know, but I just realized something. The pirate challenge needs to be giving you free treasure chests. And maybe at the highest level. All right, you know what? Let's go try that mode. Yeah, let's do a little play test right now. I'm going to go play the pirate scenario. And I want to see, first of all, what number scenario even is it? It's number 5. So what do we start with, number 1 or 0? 1. So we'd get 15, 30, 45, 60. So you'd have 60 points by the time you're here. I have 90, so we just can't spend all of it. So I'm going to try to spend just 60 of it. I want to get a few workers. And that's it. We've spent them all. So let's try that. Okay. Let's see how this goes. So I have a ton of workers. And we started with 3 treasure chests. And we got a mage thing and an archer thing. So these two chests on the left are probably a little bit better. And yeah. So let's start filling our shops. And then I want to spend... I want to put the rest into here. Yeah. I'll put this up here, and I guess this up here. This should give us a key. Hey, a golden key, nice. Let's put it into here. I can get another worker too. We can do that. This is so cool. I love playtesting when we did mostly fun stuff. Alright, let's build something now. Let's get the garbage slime, actually. And I'll dump some of these things in here. Okay, another key to open this would be great. We got very lucky at first. Oh, wait, no, we didn't get very lucky. What am I talking about? We have a 50% chance of getting a rare key. So actually, I should probably just be grinding up keys. And almost nothing else. Yeah, nice. Okay, let's put that there, and let's put this one here. That'll open in 6 seconds. I'll build a warehouse. We got another worker. We need a bow to go in here. We should get another adventurer soon. So I can move these things faster than they can move them, so I should. I need bows. Give me bows. Come on. Ah, nice. There we go. And they're right over here, so they're going to buy it and tip. Ka-ching! Alright. We have enough to hire another adventurer. Let's get the golem. Let's throw them into a battle. And then let's start grinding up keys again. Yeah, we have a ton of armors. I guess we don't really need most of this stuff. But we have a pretty much full treasure room. Ooh, a purple key. Nice. So now we got an Omni Orb. Our first one. And that leveled up like everybody. Yeah. All right, let's send them all to the next location. They can handle it. And we'll get a couple of town perks. Yeah, let's get the potion shop. We have plenty of potions anyway. And that's all we can afford for now. Okay. All right, I'm gonna grind up these weapons. We got a key, we got this, nice. Let's put that in there. And this has changed a lot. Yeah. They should eventually come up here and pick up one of these keys. Oh yeah, we have selective loot. I gotta probably take that out of the game. Okay, grind up another key. Ooh, a purple key. Neat. Maybe there should be a chance that the purple keys can apply to multiple items. I don't know. Wonder how much we should do with this Omni Orb thing. Okay, cool. So now everyone is level 3 in terms of guild supplies. Which doesn't mean a whole lot. It means they're getting +3 power and +15 health. Better than nothing. Especially considering I have nothing else going on in my town. I should probably work on that. Hey, nice. Oops. Alright, more loot. So I'd like to think this is forming a good foundation for the adventurers, but I don't know when it's not going very fast. Yeah, let's sell some of these. Yeah, I should probably just turn this off. We don't really need to get keys any faster right now. Alright, I want another adventurer. We just got a lot of money. 53. Whew, nice. Okay, so get those things over there. Sell a couple of these. All right, and there we have enough for the adventure now. Let's get the warrior, and let's send them into battle too. Let's look at their stats. They are also level 3. Yeah, I expect pretty much everyone's always going to level up at the same pace. It's not a guarantee, but that's how probability should work out. And maybe they can go to the next location too. How are they doing? Yeah, they have more life than they normally would at this level. But I have no way to level them up right now. They're winning. Let's try the next place. Yeah. I guess I get more keys. Purple keys. Do it to it. Yeah, pretty cool. Well, one person died. I think the other ones might make it. Yeah. I think they're gonna win. I think it'll be very close. Oh my god. They didn't win. They didn't win by like one hit. Seriously? Oh man. Okay, fine. Send them back to the last location. Alright, we need to be able to level them up. Now let's get the farm. And let's dump a potion into here. They were so close. And yet so far. But this is going to power up my adventurers. Actually, all of them, right? Yeah, every single one of them. And it's going to give them all 4 power, I think. Look at that and that. And now I bet they can win. Because they all hit level 4 in guild supplies. Which gave them an extra, I guess, 3 power and 15 health. So it doubled their power bonus and doubled their health bonus. And that's without me having leveled them up traditionally even once. Yeah, now they're winning. Not in time for their loot magnet to matter. Okay, cool. So treasure is helping. I should probably get... No, stop it. Let's get that. All right, and now I can level up the adventurers too. All right, so let's send this into the forest. Start leveling some characters up. I have none of these. We're gonna hold off on that then. I don't want to save up 150 gold. I want to make money, not get rid of money. Yeah. But, I think hiring another adventurer would be good. I think going broad in this mode is probably better. They're taking 26 minutes to win. That is a pretty long time. Or sorry, 26 minutes, 26 seconds. 26 minutes would be crazy. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Come on, 150. Come on, 150. Alright, we got some regular bows. Let's grind up the rest of those, put that in there, sell that, get rid of that. Yeah, they can figure this stuff out. I don't need to touch anything. I guess I'll open up this treasure chest. Yeah, I think we need to buff this even further. I think that's what I'm realizing. If this mode is tailored toward getting a lot of treasure, and I feel like my adventurers are still struggling, maybe we just improve their power a little bit and not their survivability. Okay, we can hire another adventurer. Let's get the paladin. Let's send both of those into here. I bet they'll die. What level is the paladin? Also level 4. Yeah, pretty much everyone's going to be level 4. Oh yeah, and I can get this now. Yes, they are dying. They're doing a very, very bad job. So traditional level ups still seem a lot better because of skill points. Yep, they died. All right, let's put some of these in here. Get this. What's that gonna power up? The paladin? No, it didn't actually give them a full level. All right, let's get some town perks. Oh, I don't know about this stuff. Oh, free guild supplies. Yes, please. And let's re-roll that. Auto fishing. Yes, let's take it. And now let's get the fishing pond. And now let's not do anything because they're just gonna auto fish. I got my other worker. Nice. We got a couple of keys. Pretty good. Yeah, now it feels like things are picking up. I want to get another battle perk for, yeah, at least this, and then try to repeat this battle. Ooh. Yeah, I don't want them all going in there with that. Just gonna go to the fishing pond. We don't need that. So getting keys is really, really important if you can get purple keys now, because it's multiplying your loot by 10. Which is kind of crazy. Oh man, all this is so good. I don't know what to get. I'm gonna get instant loot. Hey, nice, they won. I guess I'll sell this regularly. Okay, so now send them somewhere else, or just make them act as workers. I don't know. How fast are these guys winning? Not very fast. But look at that. Power level and adventurer. Yeah, let's get that. Who did that power up? The mage, nice. They're my main party. And they got burn and 11% haste and some dodge. So I want, what happened to, oh, I didn't even click this bell. Oh, I didn't have enough mana. I was like, why didn't I get an armor item from that? I mean, half of my adventurers are doing nothing. I should probably send them somewhere. I don't even know if I should hire another adventurer. Expanded warehouse. Yeah, let's get special keys. Yeah, so the power level right now is still not correct. We need more. Still not enough mana. There. Should go to the chef slime. All right, now we have a bunch of keys. Let's get that. Let's put that in there. Let's get this one minus 20 seconds. We got 2 more golden keys. Nice. So we're getting a lot of items out of this stuff. That Omni Orb, though, is what I want. Okay. Well, I think this is trending in the right direction. I definitely don't think it's there yet, but I think just some balance numbers might need to change. And it could get there. Do I have room for cloaks? No. But I'm going to make room for cloaks. That way they're guaranteed to get one. Let's dump some of these in there. How's the fishing pond doing? We're just auto-fishing it. Yeah. We're full up on keys. Yeah. I should buy another treasure chest because I can open it immediately. Done. Oops. Nope. Nope. No. 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 Give me that. Where'd that go? I just sold it? Oh my god. I did not mean to sell that. That was a terrible mistake. Yeah. Oh, what do you need to do? Okay, we need town perks. Max customers. Expanded warehouse. Entropic magic. Wonder if the main party can go to the next place. I probably don't need these fighting the volcano. And I definitely need storage and probably to stop making so many keys. But we can buy another chest and this time put the key into it. Yeah, so I'll need to open that all up. Let's just get some more workers. I'll hire another adventurer soon. What are we lagging on? Kind of nothing, really. We just need customers to go faster. Getting town perks for that would be nice. Ooh. Pretty good. I want to make customers go faster, but I want to have a chance at getting... No, I didn't get the thing I want. Garbage time isn't bad, especially combined with increased appetite, but I think increased appetite is better first. Let's open up some of these treasure chests. I don't think we can open both of them. Oh, no, now we can. Nice. Good, 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 good. All right, how are we doing on the rest of that? We have no fish in the pond. Put those in, give us a fish. customers move faster. Yeah, so treasure's not great. Like, it is helping. We were getting plus 20 power from this. Actually, I guess they are winning way faster now. They could probably go into here. Oh my god, allow another adventure in battles. That's like the craziest thing for this mode. Yeah, they are winning pretty easily. I bet they can go to the next location too. I don't even know who else to put into that battle. Probably the paladin. Alright, let's try it out. I just want to hire another adventurer. This is kind of cheating. Like, this is such a rare perk to be able to put 5 adventurers in a battle. So you can't count on it in any given run. Alright, just dump all my potions in there. What do I care at this point? Will they win? Close? No, they're gonna lose. They're losing. They're not allowed to lose. I'm cheating. I'm not actually cheating. Man, that's too bad. Alright, well, let's get some town perks. Ooh. This is interesting, but I'll go with that one. Employee discount. Yeah, max customers. Alright, how am I doing on treasure chest? Let's put this in there. And get that. Yeah, so I do want individual treasure to be worth more. I think it's bad to have to move items all over the place and get so many of these items and not have many of them do very much. Shield hardening, that'll probably help. Yeah, swift shoes. Make all my many workers move much faster. I want potions, but only because of auto fishing. But that should catch up, I think. This is not a great run. I'll take that. Also, have we gotten very many purple keys at all? I think maybe we should increase the rate of finding purple keys. Yeah, it's like I'm not getting any money. What's happening? I guess I should find more items. Yeah, I'm getting very little at least. Harvesting efficiency would be nice just for clearing these out faster. I wonder if they could take on the next place. They failed miserably last time. I think they'd probably fail miserably this time too. But let's let them have a shot at it. Ooh, purple key. 2 purple keys, 3 purple keys. Wow. Well, that's going to be a nice little level up for everybody. Let's see how many plus stats we get out of that. First one's a couple of people. The next one's just the mage. And then that's it. I guess they're all at a high enough level where it doesn't matter as much. Alright, are they winning this time around? Do the extra stats help them? I think so. Yeah, they won. Okay, it made a difference. I wonder if we should just be auto-buying chests at this point. I'm actually kind of curious how that would go. I need some auto-feeding of the slime. You know what? I am going to do it. Let's turn this on and let's turn this on. And we're just going to get tons and tons of treasure chests. And we're going to funnel all of our items into that. Yeah. Yeah, nice. And they'll handle it all for me, which is pretty cool. Well, I guess they don't often stick to that. They'll switch tasks. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. Alright, let's help them out. Yeah. Look at how much treasure we just got. Alright, dump all these in, for sure. None of these are my party. Okay, let's stop auto-purchasing these now. And then let's just work toward getting money. So I'll dump all these things in there. Sell these to the garbage slime. Put these in here. Getting a bunch of items. Yeah, I'll put that in there. Okay. Yeah, iron keys don't really feel... Well, I guess it's still worthwhile to get, but they don't feel great. There we go. Not enough mana. I'm not going to get enough mana before the battle's over. Can I get more mana from here? No. Let's ignore that then. Yeah, sure, the weapon shop. Oh, which means I need to turn this off. What am I doing? What I need to be doing now is just putting more adventurers into battle. Let's see if they can take this on. Oh, I only have the one adventurer. Okay, well, probably can't do that. I don't think they can take this on either. I need to hire another person. There we go. Get the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor's already level 9, plus 30 power. Even Mushy is kind of handling this over here. Yeah, wow, they are. They won a solo battle. Good for them. And I bet the two of them could take on the jungle, actually. Which will probably lead to having too many items. This is like a very roundabout way of how to win. How am I doing on potions? Yeah, put those over there. Get rid of those. Alright, now we're raking in stuff. These are actually able to take on this place, which is kind of nuts. I think this is another kind of problem with scaling here, is that guild supplies just make everyone too powerful. So now I bet these 3 adventurers on their own could take on a location they shouldn't be able to take on, really. Yeah, they're all low level, level 1, level 3. But they have so many guild supplies that they're being boosted like crazy. How many chests do I need to open to have level 1s clear the last location? I'm not sure. We should probably figure that out. Yeah, we're getting some more treasure chests. Oh, let's buy another one really fast and open that one up with this. I guess I should keep some characters at level 1 if we want to test that. Yeah, so I guess I just won't apply battle perks. Oh, I also kind of want to test I'm actually able to beat this. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so let's turn this off. We'll just get whatever remaining fish are there. Were they winning this? I didn't even check. Hey, Prestel, how'd the workout go? Yeah, we're getting tons of items now. Let's dump some of these. My armor shop. My poor, pathetic armor shop. Get some potions in there. We back? Well, I haven't taken my lunch break. I'm going to pretty soon. But, yeah. Both of these are good. Let's take Entropic Magic. Employee discount I always love. Okay, so we're about to win. We're at 95%. Do we even have space for anything else? Yeah, we do. And one potion over there. Some canes and stuff are selling. Sell these, and we're just about to win. And then I want to push this thing to the limits a little bit. Can I repeat what I said? Just that I haven't taken my lunch break yet. I also asked how the gym was for you. Hey, Shaky. My Zig journey ends here. That's too bad. All right, yeah, so this was not super fast. We did get a gold medal at least, but yeah, it didn't feel very fast. And I'm still kind of hazy on treasure. But all right, let's send a bunch of level 1 adventurers. You, and I don't have any other level 1s. So let's go hire another level 1. The cleric. Sure. So let's send all of you into this battle. You're all definitely going to die. Because I think it's too strong for you. Yeah. But we're going to auto-purchase treasure chests now. And we're going to turn this thing on. And then dump all of these in here. And we're going to end up with so much loot that they won't know what hit them. Come on, take the keys. Oh yeah, I could just do this and free up space for the keys. We don't have any more weapons though. Yeah, so they're losing. I don't even think they're getting through the first phase. Hey, Hiesu. Game looks so good. Thank you. Yeah, it's coming along. Oh, nice. Skeleton key. And I have a ton of money. So I'm going to hold on to this until we open up one of these chests. We'll get new chests immediately. Cool. Yeah, so we're getting lots and lots of treasure. How are these doing? I've intentionally left them at level 1. And they're doing poorly. Who would have thought? Yeah, so I think this would take longer than I'd like to take doing this. We got a couple more keys. So their DPS is 87. Let's just try with my full battle party. The strong ones and see how they're doing. Like, do they stand a chance at this? All right, how are they doing? They're doing better. They're going to beat phase 1 for sure. I think the mushroom will eventually die by phase 3, like fully die. But yeah, I think they can win this. I'll speed this up a bit. Yeah, it looks like they'll be fine. The warrior's permanently dead. The mushroom is now probably permanently dead, and the paladin's on their way to dying. Yep. Okay, so they can't beat it? No, just barely. Atypical. Well, if we get some battle perks for them, I can only afford that much. It didn't work. It's only when you start the message with it. Ooh, we got a purple key. Gives us an Omni Orb. Do I even need any of this? Not really. Alright, I'll speed this up again. Are they going to do any better? Wave 3 out of 3, and yeah, looks like they'll win this time. I think just because of how the hits were doled out at the beginning, like these characters are going to live. I don't really think the treasure helped them with that. But yeah, so they won. They got a whole bunch of items. We're going to put these all over here. It's going to give us a crazy amount of keys, which I'm just going to put into the warehouse. Yeah. We have so many keys. Now I'll just open up all the treasure chests. We'll immediately buy more. We'll open up those treasure chests. Yep. Looks good. More and more and more. That's all the treasure we have. So how many gallons was this? I think it was a 3-gallon thing. I don't actually remember. Oh, more keys again. And some purple ones. Wow, look at that. 4 purple keys. So that means that we're going to eventually get... Wow, we have a lot of loot going in there. I need workers to move even faster. I can't afford that. Cloning will help though. So will more mana. What did that say? Like, adventure start with 6 more levels? Is that what that said? Oh, I want to see if I can find that. Anyway, they're also bringing keys up here. Let's dump some of these into here. Alright, so 3 Omni Orbs, 1 Omni Orb. There are some more in these treasure chests. Yep. Wow. Alright, so how long are they taking to win? Because they should be getting faster and faster. They're at 35 seconds. Yeah. Is this on? It is on. Might be nice to have like an automatically applied keys to any chest that you could apply them to. What are Omni Orbs? Omni Orbs are a guild supply that will, I don't have an example of this. They're a guild supply that affects every adventurer. So this key of conversion, if you use it on a chest, like if I put this in here, it converts an item to an Omni Orb. And then when you finally open this thing, it's this. Bring this to the guild to power up all adventurers. So I put this over here and like the archer powered up, but it could have been all 10 of them that powered up at once. All right, I didn't see the time on that, but I'm guessing it was even faster. Okay, let's just make workers go faster. This is kind of crazy. Yeah, if you could sustain this at the end of the game, I guess you would get so much treasure. So yeah, originally they're taking, what, 35 seconds? Now how long are they taking? 33. Oh, they're getting a little bit faster. Purple only does one adventure versus a gold one does all in the party. So the keys can be rare. So if I get some keys, the skeleton key is the rarest one. It adds 5 items to a chest and immediately opens it, no matter how much time is remaining. So now it has a ton of items in it. Then the gold one is like a semi-common, let's say. It adds 1 item to a chest and opens it even faster. And then the purple ones are pretty rare. Those convert an item to an Omni Orb. So we can use this a couple times here. Yeah, I like the ideas that are happening. It's just, it's not balanced. And then you run into this problem where the more treasure you have, the more you're just making your workers walk all the way to the guild. And there's only so much you can speed them up. Yeah, let's get that. Yeah, anyway, we'll have to do some more balancing, but I gotta get lunch. Gotta eat some food. This was a very productive morning. I'm happy it's been going this way. Worked on the treasure room some more. It's starting to come together. Whoops. But it needs to be balanced. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. It's about noon. I'm going to probably come back around 1 p.m. or so. I think it'll be a more casual afternoon stream. And that instead of trying to focus on just work, and being productive, I might try to hang out more, interact more. I guess it all depends on how chat feels too. But yeah, the balance definitely after playing this time. Let me write this down. Yeah, so today, even on the pirate scenario, feels like treasure isn't great. It quickly lets you move beyond a location, but since it's powering up all of your adventurers evenly, it's not as impactful as battle perks. Okay, I will see you all in about an hour. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and take care.